Short and sweet.
I thought to myself, I bet I know what this is. And now I definitely know what this is.
This is so weird. This is fun. Let's try this one.
Listen to The Puzzler every day. Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts.
That's awful, and I should have seen it coming.
Discover the heartwarming and hilarious world of sibling connections on Sibling Revelry with Kate Hudson and Oliver Hudson. Dive into family tales, explore the human mind, and laugh with guests like Joel and Benji Madden. It's more than a podcast. It's a celebration of the ties that bind us.
And it's fun because we've decided to open it up to really like all kinds of different siblings. And it's going to be an awesome season.
Listen to Sibling Revelry with Kate Hudson and Oliver Hudson wherever you get your podcasts.
Tune in to the new podcast, Stories from the Village of Nothing Much. Like easy listening, but for fiction. If you've overdosed on bad news, we invite you into a world where the glimmers of goodness in everyday life are all around you. I'm Catherine Nicolai, and you might know me from the bedtime story podcast, Nothing Much Happens. I'm an architect of cozy, and I invite you to come spend some time where everyone is welcome and kindness is the default. When you tune in, you'll hear stories about bakeries and walks in the woods, a favorite booth at the diner on a blustery autumn day, cats and dogs and rescued goats and donkeys, old houses, bookshops, beaches where kites fly and pretty stones are found. I have so many stories to tell you, and they are all designed to help you feel good and feel connected to what is good in the world. Listen, relax, enjoy. Listen to Stories from the Village of Nothing Much wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back in, Clay Travis, Buck Sexton Show. Appreciate all of you hanging out with us. A bunch of you want to weigh in with a variety of different calls throughout the course of the program. I'll take some of those calls in a minute. But, Buck, I don't know if you saw this crazy ad that was out that Gavin Newsom shared. I sent it to you. I know you were traveling yesterday. Democrats are running a new ad where an Alabama state trooper pulls over a woman, demands she take a pregnancy test before she leaves the state, and arrests her. Let me play you just a short cut of this. I think it's important for you to be aware of the fear-mongering that is going on as we sit here a little bit over 6 months out. Here's cut 10.
We're almost there. You're going to make it.
Trump Republicans want to criminalize young Alabama women who travel for reproductive care.
Miss, I'm going to need you to step out of the vehicle, take a pregnancy test.
Legitimately, you need to watch this video. I shared it. We'll put it up on clayandbuck.com just to understand. This is what Gavin Newsom shared. The idea is that you're getting pulled over by a Alabama state trooper. This is probably a 20-something girl who's driving with one of her girlfriends in the car. And that the state trooper is going to demand she take a pregnancy test. And if she's pregnant, he's going to arrest her for trying to leave the state. That is legitimately, there's no hyperbole. That is the ad, and you need to watch it.
Yeah, they'll do anything they can in order to get votes in this election. They'll lie about the most egregious, they'll tell the most egregious kinds of lies. I don't think we should be surprised by that, unfortunately. They're desperate. I know that, we talked about this. There's that poll out. Is it Marist? Sienna Marist poll? Is that right? That or
NPR Marist.
NPR Marist poll. And they're showing Joe Biden, ahead a handful of points. The stuff is looking, I should say, the polls are looking really good for Trump right now. It's going to be a very close election. They're going to fight ruthlessly. And they're going to do everything that is conceivable for them in order to win this election, including telling the most outrageous lies.
Which is what, by the way, one of the Tennessee people who's running for statewide office just retweeted me and said, "You're lying. This is what happens in Tennessee. State troopers pull over people and give them pregnancy tests and arrest them. Yeah, that doesn't happen." Again, this is crazy. Matt in Scottsdale, Arizona, you've been waiting a while. What you got for us?
Oh, Matt's gone. We miss you, Matt.
Then who's next?
Kevin
in Scottsdale.
Oh, that's great. You guys got me. Hey, listen, calling from the beautiful, hot Scottsdale, Arizona. Just as an aside, what you're talking about, what the Democrats will do to win, I come from the south side of Chicago, and there's a guy named Bobby Creamer who is outed by Project Veritas, who taught guys how to vote fraud, and at the same time paid guys, Antifa guys, to go disrupt the Trump rally. So be on the lookout for that. Anyways, my question to you, especially putting your Trump lawyer hat on, is what would you, instead of talking about he has no chance to win and is there one juror, what would you do to defend Trump if you guys were a lawyer? And let me make this point here quickly. There is a rule out there saying that if the defendant can prove that the prosecution is tainted, then there can be an objection on Rule 12.
Yeah, but I mean, object to who? The judge? The judge is, he'd have a better shot objecting to Biden.
Brett.
We'll talk about this at the end of the hour as the Trump trial continues. We'll have lots of time to discuss.
Big news from our friends at Liberty Safe. Get ready for this. They're giving away a presidential 50 top-of-the-line gun safe worth almost $10,000. Enter at libertysafe.com/radio for your chance to win. Look, you got to have a safe at home. So many of these areas that people thought, oh, I'm safe, I'm fine. Very sophisticated burglary gangs operating in states across the country these days. American-made Liberty Safes can stop all that stealing in its tracks. Yeah, that's right. What are they going to do when they find your Liberty Safe there? It is so well made, so well constructed. It's going to keep your valuables safe. Go to libertysafe.com/radio for a customized Fortress Strong Liberty Safe like the one I've got here at home. libertysafe.com/radio and use coupon code radio for 10% off.
Hey, it's Tug. We're proud to be the conservative voice of Atlanta. Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra 106.3 app.
assassination of President John F. Kennedy is the greatest murder mystery in American history.
That's Rob Reiner. Rob called me, Soledad O'Brien, and asked me what I knew about this crime. I know 60 years later, new leads are still emerging. To me, an award-winning journalist, that's the making of an incredible story. And on this podcast, you're going to hear it told by one of America's greatest storytellers.
We'll ask, who had the motive to assassinate a sitting president?
My dad thought JFK screwed us at the Bay of Pigs, and then he screwed us after the Cuban Missile Crisis.
We'll reveal why Lee Harvey Oswald isn't who they said he was.
I was under the impression that Lee was being trained for a specific operation.
Then we'll pull the curtain back on the cover-up. The American people need to know the truth.
Listen to Who Killed JFK, wherever you get your podcasts.
The tight-knit fabric of a small town can be torn apart when a shocking crime happens. On the new podcast, True Crime Story, It Couldn't Happen Here, go behind the scenes of the hit TV documentary series that captivated the nation with never-before-heard footage and gripping audio.
And you'll get to go behind the scenes with me and the team and learn what it's like to make a show like this. Come join us as we get curious and get involved.
Listen to It Couldn't Happen Here, wherever you get your podcasts.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Daniel Villegas, not guilty of...
I'm Jason Flom, and you're Maggie Feeling.
Hey, Jason.
Every day we learn about another person who shouldn't be in prison.
That's right, and we do a lot behind the scenes, like finding attorneys and talking with advocates.
We're in constant communication with the people who are wrongfully convicted, their legal teams, as well as their loved ones.
All right, you take care of those kids. They've been through hell. We're going to make sure they never see the inside of a prison.
Listen to Wrongful Conviction, the podcast where we hand the mic to innocent people.
To hear their stories in their own words.
And that was when I realized at the trial, I'm going to be found guilty.
The first time the reality of my situation hit me when they gave me 25 to life.
How do you send someone innocent to prison when you know I didn't do this?
Once you meet me, you kind of can see that, I'm much more than just my case.
Listen to new episodes of Wrongful Conviction with Maggie Freeling and Jason Flom wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm Jason Flom, and you're Maggie Freeling.
Hey, Jason.
Every day we learn about another person who shouldn't be in prison.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Daniel Villegas, not guilty of...
If you want to be part of this work, listen to Wrongful Conviction,
the podcast where we hand the mic to innocent people to hear their stories.
How do you send someone innocent to prison?
Listen to new episodes of Wrongful Conviction with Maggie Freeling and Jason Flom wherever you get your podcasts.
Somewhere tonight, a Wells Fargo guard, an ex-Wells Fargo guard, is on the run with $7 million in cash.
White Eagle is a 6-part true crime podcast that explores one of the largest heists in U.S. history. On September 12, 1983, 25-year-old Victor Herrera set off to work for an armored car company. 12 hours later,
the thief had so much money to steal from here that he couldn't even haul it all away.
But stealing the money was only the beginning. This is the story about a robbery that captivated national media.
It was all over the front page of every place in the world.
Divided Congress.
What we want to know is, why did the president make this decision?
And mobilized a radical organization.
I was ready to engage in gunfire if it had to be to protect my comrade from getting caught.
Listen and subscribe to White Eagle on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your favorite shows.
The assassination of President John F. Kennedy is the greatest murder mystery in American history.
That's Rob Reiner. Rob called me, Soledad O'Brien, and asked me what I knew about this crime.
We'll ask who had the motive to assassinate a sitting president. We'll reveal why Lee Harvey Oswald isn't who they said he was. Then we'll pull the curtain back on the cover-up. The American people need to know the truth.
Listen to Who Killed JFK wherever you get
your podcasts.
Our friend Carol Markowitz is in the mix right now here on Clay and Buck. She's a New York Post columnist, author, has a great Substack, and has the Carol Markowitz Show, which is on the Clay and Buck Network. And Carol, let me say happy Passover.
Oh, thank you so much.
Now, let's talk about what is going on here on these college campuses. Columbia University shut down class today. I mean, that feels like a pretty big move. What's happening here?
So these protests have been allowed to fester on these campuses, in particular at Columbia and at Yale, but also in other places. And these kids have gotten very bold. They are, maybe some of them were there because they believed in the cause, of Palestine or whatever, but the majority of them are bad actors. And the Jew hatred is extremely blatant. They've been screaming at people who are outwardly Jewish. They've been screaming names at them. They've been screaming, go back to Poland. They block Jewish kids and Jewish professors from accessing the campus. They've been doing some really crazy things. And it's wild because I think if any other group was being targeted like this, maybe not Christians, but every other group, the governor would have a long time ago stepped in, called in National Guard, made something happen. And I think that it really shows the hierarchy in America, and I think people need to open their eyes.
Are Jewish people recognizing now, Buck and I have been talking about this, Carol, thanks for joining us, that you guys are just seen as white people, and it doesn't matter that you marched for civil rights in the 1960s, and it doesn't matter that you stood up for BLM, and that many people of Jewish faith, basically have tried to stand up for but many people have tried to stand up in the Jewish faith for oppressed people for generations, and then you get attacked, 1,200 Jews get killed for being Jewish, and it doesn't even matter because people in America now on the left see you as white. Is this registering with traditional, maybe Democrat Jewish voters in a way that over the last several years it hadn't?
I hope so. I think about this a lot, and I write about it and look at the numbers a lot. There has definitely been a shift in the last decade. So it's not like it's happening immediately right now. It's been happening. Trump got, more, a wider percentage. I think he got 35% maybe in 2020, 5% higher than he got in 2016. I mean, these numbers are moving in the right direction. It still is not the majority, obviously, but for example, in 2022, the Jews of Long Island, the Jewish vote of Long Island might have swung the House to Republicans. I mean, that's what the numbers are showing. So it's not that Jews are going to majority overnight start voting Republican, but the move has been happening. The shift has been happening. And I'd like to see it continue. Obviously, I think the Democrats have been terrible for the Jewish, people. The funny thing about being considered white, I say to my kids, like, oh, at least we get to be white now. Like, obviously, it's always when it's the bad thing, that's what we get to be. We're white when it's bad. We're not white when that's better.
Yeah.
Check out Carol's podcast, by the way, on the Clay and Buck Network, the Carol Markowitz Show. Carol, what I'm wondering is, what do you think happens if they... Clay and I were talking to this before. New York in April, pretty nice place in terms of the weather. And if this is a little bit like an Occupy-style protest, like Occupy Wall Street from back in 2011, right? If that's the case, and even if they're arrested, they decide to come back, what is the university going to do, right? I mean, because New York, and I'm sure New Haven up in Connecticut has a similar situation. Protesters or rather trespassing, trespassing is really only illegal in a serious way if it's on Capitol Hill grounds on January 6th. Any other time, they're not going to treat it like a serious thing at all, right? So what are these schools going to do? I'm not sure that these protesters plan on going anywhere anytime soon.
Right. Well, this is where the rubber meets the road. And you're absolutely right, where the hypocrisy is insane. I mean, I hate to keep saying that any other group or any other, affiliation would be in so much trouble. But because it's this far left thing that the liberals are so worried about them and they're so concerned with losing their vote. And it's this whole problem for the Democrats that I don't know what they're going to do. But I think these colleges really need to be sent a message. And I hope that people do it. It doesn't just have to be Jews. Sane non-Jews have to be able to send that message too, to say, I don't pay my money for this insanity to go on my kid's college campus. Remote learning in 2024 because Jews are afraid to be on campus is absurd, and I'm not standing for it. And, that would be where we need to go. But does it happen on these campuses, or is it just too far gone? I've been kind of for years saying that the college campuses are lost, that we should focus on K through 12 because that's really where the battles are happening now. But these college campuses are worse than I even imagined. And so I don't know what they do here. The 2024, election obviously looms very large in all the imaginations of these people. And they know that if they have an incident with the far left, Biden could lose the election. So I think all of that is being considered.
Carol, after Charlottesville, we were told we need to have a national conversation about anti-Semitism and white supremacy and that toxic combination of the two. Biden claimed that the reason he had to run for president was because of what happened in Charlottesville. Mm-hmm. Charlottesville is the right's failure when it came to marching and saying we won't be replaced in the anti-Jew slogans there. And we had a major national discussion, conversation. Seems like we always only have national discussions and conversations when people on the right screw up. We've now got hundreds, if not thousands, of Charlottesvilles taking place all over the country.
Yeah.
How does the left reconcile their discussions around Charlottesville, including Joe Biden's own presidential campaign, with now anti-Semitism flourishing in America on a level, frankly, that's never occurred to my knowledge in my life and in much of the lives of people listening to us right now?
Well, that's the thing. Again, the hypocrisy doesn't matter to them. They don't care that there was 10 people at Charlottesville and with their stupid torches and saying dumb things. I knew at the time that was not representative of the right. Immediately, everybody sane on the right denounced those people. We don't see that same denunciation happening on the left. I mean, that's really where it is. And I think that it's important to just keep pushing the idea that this is happening almost entirely on the left. There is no anti-Semitic movement happening on the right. Look, are there anti-Semites on the right? Of course. Are there people who are going to hate Jews in any group? Of course. But the idea that you can be openly Jew hating on the right is just one that is not true. As soon as anybody is, kind of openly hating of Jews, they get shunned by the right. They get criticized. They get mocked. That does not happen on the left. Joe Biden is fighting for all of those votes, and that's a real big split. Charlottesville, we didn't make heroes out of those people. These college campuses, they are making the heroes out of them. They're saying that these protesters are just like the ones who marched on Selma, etc. And they're turning them into martyrs and heroes. We don't do that on the right with people who hate Jews. It just is not the case.
Hey, Carol, Clay and I were going back and forth in the last hour on, Clay raised, if you're paying 75 to 100 grand to send your kid to one of these places, are you going to be, and I know they're young adults, right? They're 18 and up. But are you going to be outraged? And I said, well, I don't know. I know some left-wing parents in New York who would probably applaud this kind of thing.
Right.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that you're right. I know left-wing parents who would also applaud this, but there has to be a saner middle. But of course, the concern is, and I know the three of us know this, the saner middle becomes very quiet when the left comes after them. And they did that during COVID. They didn't say a word. They made sure that they kept their mouths shut in case anybody was mean to them on Facebook or Twitter. And they're doing the same thing now. And that's really where the dividing line is. Yes, there are leftist parents who are thrilled that their little Johnny is, at Columbia and targeting Jewish students for abuse because that's what the popular thing to do right now is. But there have to be the saner middle people who are quiet, and they have to stop being quiet. And I don't know if they will, but that's really where this needs to go.
Carol, you moved recently from New York to Florida like Buck. We've been talking about the jury pool, which you theoretically could have been a part of potentially during your time living in New York. Do you think anybody that is on that jury, the 12 that are seated or the 6 alternates, depending on who ends up ultimately making a decision, will be willing to publicly refuse to convict Trump? Or do you think the societal pressure of living in New York City, the lifestyle that's commensurate with that, makes it so difficult for anyone to even be willing to stand on that island?
That's a really good question. They released what each of the jury, where they get their news. And, the shocking thing to me was only one of them got the news from the New York Post. I mean, everybody in New York reads the Post. I'm not just saying that because I write for them. It is the paper that everybody reads on the subway. And the fact that only one juror is a Post reader was really surprising. And that's concerning because you have a lot of people who are listening to CNN or NPR or reading the New York Times, you're going to have a much tougher time having somebody vote to not convict. But you're right. They get a lot of social pressure there. The thing I will say about Donald Trump, and I know that you guys have said similar things in the past, once someone is like, that's it, I'm supporting Trump, it's very hard to get them off that hand because they've already been through all the abuse. They've been targeted. They've been called racist. They've been called, all kinds of names. But once they've kind of overcome that and they've decided, no, I'm supporting this guy, it's really hard to get somebody off of that. So I think that if there is a Trump supporter on that jury, it makes it much more likely that they will stand their ground and that they'll find him not guilty.
Subscribe to the Carol Markowitz podcast, everybody, on the Clay and Buck Network. Download the iHeartRadio app. Look up Carol's name. Starts with a K, Karol, and give it a listen. Fantastic stuff. Carol, always appreciate you being with us. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Love being on.
And Clay, Carol's been with me at the range. She's got a good eye. She's a good shot. And whether you're new to firearms or a bit seasoned, I want to tell you about Bear Creek Arsenal, veteran-owned and operated gun manufacturer based in Sanford, North Carolina. They make precision-oriented products made here in America. Bear Creek Arsenal was founded by engineers with over 2 decades of experience in the firearms industry. These guys really know their stuff, and they offer over 25 calibers at Bear Creek Arsenal at a fraction of the price of the competition. And they're able to do this because they've got no middleman fees. My first Bear Creek Arsenal firearm was their AR-15 model, BCA-15. You can check it out for yourself. You're not going to believe the quality, the craftsmanship, and the price point. This should be one of those great days where you realize, hold on a second, you mean I can get top quality stuff at a price that I didn't believe? Yes. With Bear Creek Arsenal, when it comes to firearms, you absolutely can. Go to bearcreekarsenal.com/buck. Use my name, Buck, as your promo code. Get 10% off your first order. That's BearCreekArsenal.com/Buck. Use my name, Buck, as your promo code for 10% off.
Stay on top of election news with 24 from Clay and Buck, a weekly podcast you can find on the free iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, gang, look out. It's the Kimmer. Pete and I are back on the air in Atlanta. The Kimmer Show coming up at 3, only here on Extra 106.3.
Listen to Stories from the Village of Nothing Much, wherever you get your podcasts.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi. Oh my God, I want to come through the screen and hug you. Hey everybody, Jessica Zor here, also known as Vanessa Abrams on Gossip Girl. I am so excited to share my new podcast with you guys. It's called XOXO, and it's a walk down memory lane all about Gossip Girl. I'll chat with some of the cast, crew, fans of the show, and I'm just so pumped for you guys to go on this journey with me.
Hi, I'm Ed Westwick. I played Chuck Bass.
Is this Michelle Trachtenberg? I'll never tell.
Hey, I'm Taylor Momsen, and I played Jenny Humphrey.
Hi, I'm Sebastian Stan, and I played Carter Payson.
That was one of the reasons I liked the character Jenny so much, is that she was very relatable.
The whole thing was such a joy for me to do, and I was just so thankful that people responded the way they did to what we were doing.
This really was just like wonderful. I have warm feelings inside.
Yeah, me too.
I'm giving you air hugs. Mwah, mwah. Listen to XOXO wherever you get your podcasts. Here's the easiest puzzle in the world. Where can you get a daily dose of fun, audio-friendly puzzles? The solution is obvious. The Puzzler Podcast with AJ Jacobs. Join AJ every day as he and his celebrity guests tease your brain and tickle your funny bone.
Here we go. Chairs. Of course. Musical chairs. A puzzle where there's one too many pieces. That's right.
Listen to The Puzzler wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm Grace Campbell, and on my new podcast, 28 Dates Later, I'm changing the narrative on how we find love. Join me on a wild adventure as I go on blind dates, finding suitors on the internet's strangest apps, and only picking people who are the total opposite of my type. Dissecting my dates and listening in on all the cringiest moments will be my friend Roz.
Every time I hear about a date, I go in and I cuddle my boyfriend. I'm like, thank God.
And my friend Dan.
Okay, the deadest flirting I've ever heard in my life.
Who won't be giving me an easy ride.
Honestly, if you had said that to me on a date, I would have walked out.
And after going on 28 of these dates in 2 months, will I find that special someone? Or will this experiment prove that there's no good way to find love and I should just give up on dating altogether? It's time to find out. Listen to 28 Dates Later with me, Grace Campbell, wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back in, Clay Travis, Buck Sexton Show. Just to everybody out there, it feels like a crazy Monday. I feel like the amount of craziness that we're going to see in the weeks and months ahead is going to be so wonky and so wacky that you're probably going to be like me and start off your morning with Crockett Coffee. I'll tell you, Buck, on Sunday, I had the New York Times. I had the Wall Street Journal Weekend Edition. I had it all laid out in front of me. And as I prepared to dive into the chaos, I said, I'm going to drink the coffee that is owned by people who love America, that honors American history, that loves Davy Crockett. Be sure you're right, then go ahead. By the way, Sunday, I believe, was the anniversary of the Battle of San Jacinto, when, remember, the Alamo was the call for all of our Texans down there back in 1836, when Sam Houston from the great state of Tennessee helped Texas to become an independent republic. That was on the shoulders of the Battle of the Alamo. Remember the Alamo. Remember Davy Crockett. Go sign up for Crockett Coffee today. Battle of San Jacinto, I'm told, I haven't visited. I'm told it is a cool location. I think your wife, Carrie, has been there.
Yes.
Because she did a special with Brian Kilmeade back in the day, because she told us about it when our friend Michael Berry, we had our big event in Houston, not far from the location of the Battle of San Jacinto outside of Houston.
Indeed. Yes, she
tying it all in there together.
Very knowledgeable about that era. We have Louise in Suffolk County. I'm assuming Suffolk County, New York. So that means the eastern portion of Long Island, which includes the Hamptons, among other places. What's up, Louise?
Hi, thank you for taking my call. I wanted to talk about these students protesting at these universities. I think if they are so principled, they should stand up and give back any student assistance, financial assistance that they've received from these universities, because obviously these universities have been investing in things that are perhaps Jewish or Israeli related. So they should give back their money. And if they can't do it themselves, maybe the university should help them along by taking it back. And in addition, Biden forgiving student loans for people who are protesting on campus, claiming how unjust, unfair, and racist we are as a country. Why am I paying for these people's to have these people's loans forgiven when they hate me?
Well, Louise, you talk about something that's, or you also raise an additional issue, I think, which is that anyone who says that there's nothing to be done here doesn't understand the financing of this bloated university and college education system we have. Without federally backed student loans, this whole system, and also they wouldn't be able to raise tuition year after year. Without federally backed student loans, you wouldn't be able to have all these people going to these colleges paying outrageously high tuitions. That's the big problem here. So the federal government actually has a huge lever to push in this situation if it decided to. And that's been true about college speech codes, for example, all along. I know you're talking more about the private sector side of it, but these universities have gotten away for far too long with operating like they are islands that don't need anybody. They need a lot.
Well, I mean, a lot of them are sitting on huge amounts of money, endowments that they received that they're not using towards students' educational needs. And take the money back. Give it to kids who want to come and learn and who are not going to protest, take over, insinuate, insult, abuse any other ethnic group for whatever reason. I mean, I'm just so tired of paying all this money to forgive people's. I'm a single mom. I raised 4 kids. I worked my butt off paying off a parent loan for my kids.
I get it. Louise, thank you for the call. Let me point this out too, Buck. Maybe we can have a little bit more discussion about this tomorrow. You notice that almost all of these student protests are occurring in blue states? Ain't a lot of campus protests happening anywhere in the South. To my knowledge, they aren't taking over the University of Florida, the University of Alabama, the University of Tennessee, the University of Texas. So far, red states aren't allowing students to protest Jewish people. Now, you would think that would be a big kind of interesting story, but I bet there will be no one writing that story. Why are all these protests happening in blue cities and blue states against Jewish people? Charlottesville happens, as we talked about. It's the number one story for months all over the place. 1,000 Charlottesvilles happen on Biden's watch. Awful lot of crickets. Red states protecting Jews better.
Clay Travis and Buck Sexton on the front lines of truth.
Hey, it's Clay Travis. Buck Sexton and I are up now, and the Kimmer Show is up at 3. Yep, the Kimmer's back, only on Extra 106.3.
Nowadays, $20 barely gets you a burger and fries or maybe a quarter tank of gas. You know what it will get you, though? For $20 a month, you can get unlimited talk, text, and plenty of 5G data from my cell phone company, Pure Talk.
You'll get the same quality of service as AT&T, Verizon, or T-Mobile, but for half the cost. The average size family saves almost $1,000 a year. all with no contracts and no activation fees. You can keep your cell phone number and your phone or get great deals on the latest iPhones and Androids.
Make the switch today and save an additional 50% off your first month. Choose a wireless company who shares our values, who supports our military and veterans, creates American jobs, and refuses to advertise on fake news networks.
Dial pound 250, say the keywords Clay and Buck, and make the switch today. That's pound 250 and say the keywords Clay and Buck. One more time, pound 250, Clay and Buck.
There's money to be saved when you shop online at MyPillow.com. This may be another first for them. Their $25 extravaganza sale. So many household items on sale for just $25.
Included in this sale are their Giza premium pillows, their beach towels, towel sets for your kitchen. The list of items is deep. The sale includes many of their best-selling products, too, making it all the more important for you to visit the website, MyPillow.com, today for their great deals while quantities last.
To see and buy the heavily discounted items with a $25 price sticker on them, it's as simple for you as using our names, Clay and Buck, as your promo code on the website. That unlocks some great deals.
There's free shipping on purchases of $75 or more. Go to MyPillow.com and click on the radio listener special square for these $25 deals. Enter promo code Clay and Buck or call 800-792-3269 as this amazing offer won't last long.
Go to MyPillow.com and use promo code Clay and Buck.
Calls it election interference. They call it election fraud. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. On day one of former President Trump's first criminal trial, prosecutors using opening statements in New York to accuse him of trying to illegally influence the 2016 election by preventing damaging stories from being made public. The former president denies it and calls the trial interference in the 2024 election, telling reporters outside the courtroom.
I should be in Florida now. I should be in a lot of different places right now campaigning, and I'm sitting here. And this will go on for a long time. It's very unfair.
He's charged with falsifying business records to hide hush money payments, those payments landing his former attorney Michael Cohen in prison for campaign finance violations. The judge has said prosecutors can't tie Cohen's guilty plea to the former president. Protesters for and against Israel chanting over barricades at each other on a sixth day of unrest at and near the Columbia University campus.
We have to respect people's First Amendment rights. However, people should be aware that if you cross that line and commit a crime, the NYPD will respond accordingly.
Police spokesman Tariq Shepard. The U.S. Supreme Court considering how far cities can go to crack down on homeless encampments.
Can homelessness be a criminal offense? That's one of the questions posed during more than 2 hours of arguments at the U.S. Supreme Court.
Is that not what your statute does? The statute does not say anything about homelessness. It's a generally applicable law. It's very important that it applies to everyone. Yeah, I got that, but it's a single person with a blanket. And you don't have to have a tent. You don't have to have a camp.
Grants Pass, Oregon attorney Theane Evangelos defended the municipal ordinance to Justice Elena Kagan. A group of homeless people are challenging the ordinance, arguing penalties for sleeping outside in public spaces violates the Eighth Amendment's protections against cruel and unusual punishment.
Fox's Jared Halpern in Washington. America is listening to Fox News.
You know, since 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation has been committed to supporting our nation's first responders and veterans. They support America's heroes like U.S. Army Major Jonathan Turnbull. Now, Major Turnbull sustained devastating injuries at the hands of an ISIS suicide bomber. Tunnel to Towers gave him a specially adapted smart home designed for his needs. Join Tunnel to Towers. They're hoping all of us will donate $11 a month so this great work continues. Their website, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org.
Hear that? The sound of adorable little birds in your garden. And if you were here, you'd taste the 2 sweet but tiny tomatoes you grew all by yourself. But you're not here. Because your self-care happens when you're riding your motorcycle protected by Progressive on your way to the store for a pack of normal-sized tomatoes. So if you ride, switch to Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer, without getting your hands dirty. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Ruff. Look out. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer stands by with Pete Davis, sidekick, producer, and sports raconteur extraordinaire. And the mechanical mangler's not here, but it's Morning Show Joe. Oh, my God.
I know the day I was born.
By the way, you're doing a wonderful job so far, Morning Show Joe. Yeah, we got aces all over this today, baby. Anyway, it's really kind of cool because, you know, you have to, anytime you have a thing and then all of a sudden it's a little different, it's kind of fun. I mean, it's different. And poor Joe, the poor bastard was, he's doing the morning show. That's bad enough being with those 3 guys anyway, those beautiful bastards in the morning. Now you got to stick around all day until 6.
I'm high on coffee right now.
I'll bet you are. Anyway, and by the way, I want to talk to you about the amount. I was listening on Friday. Was it Friday or I missed a lot today. I tried to take some naps. I had a bad weekend, so I missed part of the morning show today, which is rare. But on Friday, they were talking about setting you up with Amanda to get you new haircut and new clothes and hot babe and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, they were.
Okay, well, we're going to get an update later on. Now, she tried that with me.
She's 0 for 1.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So,
and not only 0 for 1, I'm surprised they don't ban her on social media because 0 swipes for the Kimmer. 0 zip zop.
Luckily,
anyway,
I'm getting more than that.
I think you're probably going to be in good shape. But we'll talk about it. I know the Rhino was on you, too, trying to say. By the way, he's been talking about his new girlfriend a lot. Is she real? Has anybody ever actually seen her?
I've met her.
You have met her?
Yeah, she was at the Christmas party.
I'll be damned.
She's Canadian?
His mic's off there.
Canadian?
There you go.
Oh, yeah. Canadian. You wouldn't know her.
But anyway, well, I mean, good for him. I'm happy for him because he's bragging about her. I mean, he's nuts about her, apparently, which is I'm envious. It's good.
If he can get a girlfriend.
That's what I was thinking. What the hell? I used to be a successful, decent guy. Never mind. Pete Davis, how was your weekend? Mountains of Macon there, sir.
Can I have a plug here?
Please,
make a plug here?
Plug all over the place, sir.
I went to dinner with some friends Friday night, and they said, hey, you want to come with us? I said, I am here. We're eating dinner. They go, no, we're going to a play. So I got hijacked to
theater
go to
play?
An actual theater play.
What theater up there?
The Blue Ridge Community Theater.
Oh, community theater. I used to do a little stuff. Yeah, go ahead.
A production of Barefoot in the Park.
Oh, my God. The old Jane Fonda, Robert Redford.
Yeah, and Neil Simon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be damned.
And I got to tell you, I was just shocked how well it was.
Really?
How good it was. In fact, let me throw a couple of shout-outs here.
Yeah.
The 2 young characters. It's a young married couple.
Yeah.
And there's 2 young college kids that go to North Georgia colleges up there. So they're college kids doing this.
Huh.
Kaylin Cornelius and Cody Landmichael. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. She's like a cross between Florence Pugh and Kelly Clarkson.
Huh.
And he's like, remember the first Darren Dick York?
Yeah.
On Bewitched?
Yeah.
Very good with the pratfalls and that, just very well done. Everybody in the whole production was good.
Was it a musical or a straight
No, not a musical. It was a straight play.
I'll be darned.
And it was well produced and well done. I was shocked. I was just absolutely. And they're going to do, let's see, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest and then Young Frankenstein.
Oh, there's no way they can do Young Frankenstein
We'll find
in a
out.
theater.
We'll find out.
Oh, please. There's no way. All the great, I mean.
I know.
How in the world?
I don't know how they're going to do it.
Footsteps.
It's Twoo. Oh, that makes me blazing saddles.
Not really, honey. I told you the line after that actual line in the movie.
Yeah, I don't think you can say
No,
that.
I can't say it now. Anyway, and now Morning Show Joe, how was your weekend? We normally ask Flounder how his weekend was.
It was fine. I worked. I do. I'm on the Braves radio network now. I do Saturdays.
I did not know
the
that.
board.
Well, you're a young man. You know, I used to work 7 days a week for years, including here in Atlanta.
But I did have Sunday off.
Well,
it was my
very
grandpa's birthday.
Oh, well, very nice. Very nice.
So happy
And of course,
85th birthday to JoJo.
80 what?
85.
85 to JoJo.
Outstanding. And Flounder, of course, is doing a little charity event for his sweet, pretty baby girl. And I think it's a little probably having a great time. Beautiful day for it. So everybody's happy in every possible way, except for me, because I spent the whole weekend. Oh God! You know, the thing. You know, I've been talking about my knee. And by the way, we have the news. We have Donald Trump news. We have that case in Oregon, the Supreme Court case. Nobody's talking about it. I think it's an amazing case. The Columbia and Yale and MIT, and here we're going at it again with these people. You're going to hear from Bill Maher. We can't play it all because it's 7 minutes long, but his commentary was spectacular. Mm-hmm. And we're going to play some of it coming up in the 3 o'clock hour, and also repeat some of it in the late 5 o'clock hour.
But first, the Kimmer Health Report.
Well, okay. Now you know that for some reason, I don't know whether this is. I don't know what the physiology of it is, but for some reason, last few nights, I'm getting this sciatic nerve, horrible pain in my knee and my thigh. Not in the back of my leg, but in my front of my knee, into the top of my thigh, and it's such an ache that I can't sleep. I've been taking that. My little friend Gretchen gave me the bottle of that marijuana cream, and so but hell, I've been going through 4 lighters trying to get those little pipes. I found that you had to put it in the refrigerator for like 20 minutes. Once it gets cold, then you can kind of crisp it, and you could. But I've been going through like 4 lighters a day just trying to get that into my system. So anyway, I'm getting up in the middle of the night putting that stupid cream, taking that stuff, and then all of a sudden Saturday, I bet I was taking too much of that marijuana cream because I've been sick all weekend. I couldn't. I've had half of one English muffin in 20 hours or something, and some peanuts today.
So you got a really bad pain.
Yeah.
Which is surprising because you're a carrier. Usually, carriers don't.
Well, sometimes, the evidence is there. I don't. But anyway, so I've got, and in fact, I tried to take 2 naps today. I was so embarrassed. I was up most of the night, and I got done with my stuff early, like at 7 or 8 o'clock, and I think I might have even told you guys because I was sending stuff to Joe to do instead of Flounder printing it up. So I tried to take a nap. Like at 8 o'clock this morning, go back to bed, and that didn't work. I can't. I try. I think I slept for like 4 minutes, and then I'm up talking, and then I tried to take another one around 9:30 or 10, and that didn't work either.
Tart cherry. You're supposed to drink that, and that's supposed to help you go to sleep.
I've heard that. I don't know why. Anyway, I'm fine. I don't mean to complain or bitch. I don't know. And a lot
you
of
look
this,
good.
Well, the other thing, I think I might have had a cold. I mean, my stomach's been killing me, and it's not bad, but my intestinal thing is no. But I'm not. I have no fever. I don't really have a headache. It's just nasal stuff, and I've been, just blech, like that. And I think it's just a thing. So, anyways, I'm happy. I'm sitting. I'm smiling. I'm working. I'm alive. I'm walking on the right side of the grass. Quick elevator story. Well, no. Well, I've had my elevator stories. Okay.
If you had the elevator story over and under for 10 minutes.
Yeah, the Kimmer crossword puzzle.
It's a push. It's right at 10.
Well, now last week, as I recall, I told the story of how I was getting out of the elevator, and there was a guy right in the front of the door, and he started to walk in right in my face, and he go, "Oh, sorry," and he go, "Oh, that's it." So and I thought to and I remember saying out loud, "How is it possible that you have never done that once in your life, and you would learn the lesson? Yeah. Don't go up to the door. I mean, you wait 2 feet. Just wait a second." I mean, how is it you could do that once and you say, "Oh my God, I'm not going to do that again." So I thought today, after this morning, or noon, whatever it was, and I get out of the elevator, and there was a beautiful woman, about 25 years old probably, about 2 feet back, and she was beginning to make a slight, teeny, like forward motion with her, movement, but she didn't, because she had learned her lesson from some time in the past, and so she said, "Oh, excuse me," although she didn't really get close, and I said, "No, pardon me." I tipped my hat, and I held the door for her, and she said, "Thank you." And I thought, frankly, that was just, how many more? You don't get a lot of those moments, because just a couple days ago, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I was coming down the sidewalk last week. I was coming down the sidewalk right in front of where all the Brave stuff is. And there were these 2 ladies, and they were not young girls. They were not 20-year-old snot bitches like everybody, These were like 45, 50-year-old 2 women. And they're coming out of the Braves thing, and I was coming down the sidewalk, and they're on my right to the Brave store, coming out of the Brave store, and they're coming right in front of me, and they sort of half stopped. Or no, they were coming for me, so I stopped for several seconds to let them go in front of me, and I actually tipped my cap, like I always do, and have them go in front of me. Not one of them said thank you. Neither one said thank you. And I don't know why I almost always say you're welcome, but I didn't do it this time because I thought, well, screw them. They don't, they're just rude, and I just there you are. So
what an incredibly enticing story.
Well, I'm sorry, it's
and
Monday.
The ending.
I haven't had any sleep.
I didn't know if I could sit through the ending.
I've been on medication. I'm taking 14 Tylenol every 20 minutes.
It was such a climax to that story.
They should have said thank you. Damn it! It's not freaking right.
Edge of our seats.
What's that?
I think sometimes you do that for you. You're supposed to be doing it for them, but I think you're doing it more for you.
Doing what? Being polite?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm doing it. I'm being polite because I think it's the right thing to do. And you silly me.
You expect
oh, my God. What am I? Oh, see, now there you are. Pete Davis.
You want recompense.
I know. Oh, my God. John, see, I'm so wrong thinking that people would be polite in return. What an idiot. Oh, God. Take me now. Take me now.
You want something back.
I clearly cannot live in today's world.
You're so dumb.
God. All right, 3:13. Well, I blew that segment.
Yeah, you did.
But we're all smiling and happy.
I know.
It's a beautiful day.
It is a beautiful day.
So there you
I'm
are.
going to the game later.
Are you really?
Yes, sir. You should come over.
You have one of those past things.
That's right. You do.
So do I.
You should come over.
I can't stay out that late and then go home and eat dinner at 10 or 11.
They got great hot dogs,
I
man.
can't. I've got to go to bed. Believe me, you have no idea. It's like being me. 3:13, Kimmer Pete and Morning Show Joe sitting in for Flounder here on 106.3. It's a beautiful day. Come and join us, 404-741-1230. Look out. Look out, it's a Kimber. We've got your afternoons covered, all right, and the Morning Extra's got your drive-in from 6 to 10 a.m., too.
What about, then, the politicization, however you say it. Politicization, if that's right. I don't even know
Close
if
enough.
that's right. Close
You're
enough.
doing great, buddy.
Thank you. Yeah,
We're down to the last couple minutes. Yeah, it's good, because that just became a promo.
The Morning Extra, 6 to 10 a.m. on Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
Sequoia National Golf Club is located 45 minutes west of Asheville, North Carolina, and nestled among the Oak, Fir, and Flowered Valleys in the heart of the Great Smoky Mountains. Owned by the Eastern Band of the Cherokee, this Robert Trent Jones II design offers an idyllic 18-hole journey filled with panoramic vistas on every hole, beautiful landscapes, and a fun mountain golf experience. Enjoy a relaxed lunch or afternoon beverage on the outdoor deck with 180-degree views of the Great Smoky Mountains. The surrounding community also provides golfers a welcoming environment that is rich with Native American culture and exciting year-round attractions. Sequoia National Golf Club is just 4 miles from Harrah's Cherokee Casino Resort and just a short drive from Atlanta. Experience a fun afternoon of golf with your friends or stick around for an epic stay-and-play weekend. Experience mountain golf at its finest and then go hit the casino floor. Book your tee time at sequoianational.com. That's sequoianational.com. Experience the majesty and beauty of Sequoia National, mountain golf at its finest.
So, Robert, I want to thank you for your time. I just don't think you're the right person for this position.
I don't understand. Was it something I said?
Well, we did a background check on you and found some things of concern.
If you're in charge of hiring for your company, you know how helpful a background screening can be. That's why companies that use Horizon Background Screening make smarter hiring decisions. Don't let the wrong hire put your company at risk. Get the real story on your candidates at horizonscreening.com. horizonscreening.com.
Do you know that most people describe remodeling as stressful? Does that sound like your experience? Hi, this is Candace from Excavations, and have I got a tip for you. With Excavations as your partner, you'll get a completely different remodeling experience. How? Well, besides covering the very basics like showing up on time, cleaning up your property each day, not smashing your flowers or bushes, and not pressuring you to buy today because this huge deal expires tonight. We also cover the big things like a written project schedule so you know when workers are coming and when they're not. A fixed price quote so you're guaranteed that what you pay is exactly what you committed to up front. And a design of what your home will look like so you're not left guessing if you're even going to like the finished product. Discover what stress-free remodeling looks like and schedule your free quote today at exovations.com. That's EXOVATIONS.com.
Get ready for unfiltered conversations on The Janelle King Show, where we tackle the topics that you won't hear at your family gatherings, but they're absolutely crucial for a strong republic. Don't miss us live every Saturday at 3 p.m. and every Sunday at 9 a.m. right here on Extra 106.3. But if you can't tune in, that's okay. You can catch new episodes every Tuesday on the Podcast Park or wherever you prefer to get your podcasts. Join us for these discussions, and I can't wait to meet you there.
Pack your bags and join the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets football team in Dublin, Ireland as Toe meets leather to kick off the 2024 football season in Dublin. The Aer Lingus College Football Classic will feature your Yellow Jackets versus the Florida State Seminoles in a special Week 0 matchup on August 24th, 2024. Don't miss this unique opportunity to visit one of the world's most popular travel destinations while cheering on the Jackets on a global stage. For travel packages, tickets, and more information, go to gt2ireland.com. Sting 'em.
There we go. Destiny's Child, baby, 2001.
Now that you're out of my life, I'm so much better. You thought that I'd be weak without you, but
Yeah, turn up a little bit. Running show. There you go.
broke without you, but I'm richer. You thought that I'd be sad without you. I left harder. You thought
Giddy up, go, darling. Giddy up, go. Yeah, boy. Destiny's Child, #1 with Survivor on the British chart. Their second chart topper. They were the first U.S. female band to have more than one British #1. Now, wait a minute. You telling me the Destiny's Child was the first American female group to have more than one British #1 song? The Shirelles, the Chiffons, the Supremes, oh my God, Motown, holy crap.
Go-Go's,
I mean,
Bangles.
It's going to be 15 of them. I can't believe it. Martha and Vandella, I mean, oh my God. Is that, I'm flabbergasted.
Hey, for what Jay has in the box, name me another of the Destiny's Child.
I have no idea. I remember that. Well, I mean, I'll tell you, I can't remember the name of it. I remember from an episode of The Sopranos, and that naughty little Meadow and her slutty little friend were making stuff in the kitchen, throwing flour all over the place and making a big mess, singing one of the Destiny Child songs. And I remember that, but I can't remember which way. It was another famous song. Morning Show, Joe, what's the other Destiny's Child famous song?
I couldn't tell you.
Well, there. Anyway, whatever. Anybody who knows them would know what I'm talking about, and that was the one I heard on Sopranos.
Name another one besides Beyonce.
I don't know. I don't know anybody. Akira. No, what's her name? Akira? I have no idea. I don't know. My hips are wide, and my hips are swinging. Shakira. I was close.
She's not.
I had like half of it. Half for me is a lot these days. Our birthday list, shut up. 319, shut up. Here's a Kimmer, Pete, and Morning Show Joe for Flounder. Our birthday list includes the disgusting Amber Heard. Although, boy, just
not
like
disgusting
for a weekend,
look at.
just for one weekend. Yeah, like 18 hours. Probably the most you could without wanting to kill her. So I don't know, or vice versa. Amber Heard, 38. Aquaman's queen, Mara. I can't see anything anymore. Not anymore. In the Aquaman and Justice League movies, and the former Mrs. Johnny Depp. Remember that trial? Holy crime. And he won. She had to pay him money, and I think she's paid it yet.
I'm telling you, the Rum Diaries with Johnny Depp.
Yeah, she was naughty.
She comes out of the water.
She's the dish. She's a freaking old-fashioned hot babe. No question about it. And on this day in history, 1976, Barbara Walters became the first female news anchor on the network to go on network television. Harry Reasoner was vocal about how much he hated her and disliked the idea. He tried to ruin her career. He was public about it. He did interviews saying it was horrible and it was disgusting and a distraction and made no sense. He actually tried to hurt her over and over and over. And later on, she said, actually, there were no hard feelings because Harry Reasoner at the time, I didn't know this, in the mid-'70s, was going through a hell of a lot of problems at home. Like family problems and wife problems, and he was just a nasty man. He was not happy. He was a miserable bastard. He's probably whatever. But he was not a happy individual. And when they said, by the way, we're putting a girl with you for the first time in American history, he said, oh, yeah? And so that's how that started. Anyway, it all turned out, in fact, a little Barbara Walters now to celebrate the occasion in 1976, if you would more.
Let me ask you, when you conceived The View, you said, I wanted to do a show with women with different views. Any regrets? Well, Well, at the time, little did I know that I would be surrounded by 4 cackling hens all speaking over each other where I couldn't get a word in edgewise. Far away from my respected work on the ABC News program, 2020. It has been said about me, and I quote, "She's a tough broad, and she's all business." But since my time on The View, people have gotten to see a fun, almost whimsical side of me that some swear previously never existed.
Believe me, it existed.
As you can read in my best-selling book, Audition, where I write about having a no-holds-barred sexual affair with a black man.
Do you want the exact page number? Should I underline it?
169. Not a coincidence.
Cheerio, Terry. And by the way, I remember her doing a bit as Barbara Walters saying, "I took that Hugh Downs for a weekend and he'll never come back to work." I mean, just just pounded that man till he was dying. I ruined that man. I mean, it was hysterical. Hugh Downs. I mean, and Barbara Walters. I think Hugh Downs, in fact, was the first guy who went public that he had gotten this. The first a public person who went public to announce that he had gotten a hair transplant. And he said, I remember talking about it had to be like 1960 or something. Anyway, Hugh Douglas, well, he was quite a character. By the way, our 3 o'clock hour, sponsored by, what's the matter?
Hugh Downs. Hugh Douglas is a football player, was.
I said Hugh Downs. I said Hugh Douglas?
At the end, you said Hugh Douglas.
Oh, no, Hugh Douglas was a whole different story. The 3 o'clock hour brought to you by our good friends at First Liberty Building and Loan. If you need financing to help grow your business, First Liberty GA. Excuse me. It's a cold. I'm telling you, I can barely speak. FirstLibertyGA.com.
Well, I'm glad I'm sitting 3 feet away from you.
No, it's not. I know. There's no fever. I'm not. There's no way that this is. It's just it was I don't know what happened. Maybe I took too much of the marijuana cream and it got into my system because I couldn't eat and I felt like crap. Just that queasiness and whatever. Anyway.
I got a fever.
It's exactly no fever. No fever. I'm not sick. I just felt like crap. And I bet part of it is it's nasal and sneezing and my nose literally just starts dripping. I mean, it's just I'm in a thing. But I'm getting out of it. I feel good.
Look at there. It's topic time already.
Oh, my God. 3:23. Holy criminy. Yes, it's true. Here's the Donald Trump trial. We got major stories. Donald Trump trial. Protests, once again, the Jew haters. And these are all Democrats. The Jew haters on college campuses, back again. The police in Columbia, and whether to use them or not, they're having debates on whether to call the cops. I mean, here we go. I mean, it's just nonsense. And we got all that stuff, plus court cases. Now someone, by the way, talking about whether people raising their children to believe that you have a right to a house. The Oregon case, the Supreme Court Oregon case today, basically means that somebody said that they're teaching their children that, by God, you have a right to a house. If you can't find one on your own, the city where you live has the obligation to give you a place to live. I mean, who ever thought of that? That's what they're arguing, that if you get arrested for sleeping in a park, it's cruel and unusual punishment because the city owes you a house. Or a room, oh my God.
It's called The Woods.
Oh, Lord. Also, Taylor Swift is now getting controversy for 7 bad songs on her double album, which they say are bad for kids. The Taylor Tots. My granddaughter, Molly's a Taylor Tot. I got her 2 Taylor Swift things for Christmas. So anyway, I will talk about it. Okay, the judge and the Donald Trump, that scumbag lying just a dirtbag Juan Merchan, has said if Donald Trump takes the stand, then if he's cross-examined, he would allow Trump to be cross-examined on the verdict in the New York civil fraud case by Letitia James, which said he overinflated the value of his properties. He would allow prosecutors to ask Trump about 2 violations of the judge's gag order, for which he was fined $15,000. Trump just starts shaking his head because Ertz said he violated the law. They'll be able to, if Trump takes his stand, they'll be able to cross-examine him on the Jean Carroll verdict where she accused him of rape, and they didn't rape her, and she even accused him of fondling her. The jury said, well, he never raped her. He might have fondled her, so you owe her $83 million. $83 million. Because they said he did not rape her, and they didn't believe any of the story of that, but he said, well, he might have fondled her, so we'll give her $83 million. $83 million. Also, if he testifies, he'll allow prosecutors to elect testimony from the former president about the settlement he did with the dissolution of the Trump Foundation. They will not allow him to ask about the ruling in Florida with the frivolous lawsuit against Hillary Rodham P. Stinky Fart Cabbage. But again, I mean, this is all not. This is unbelievable. The whole thing is just a disgrace.
Got breaking news here. Judge Arthur Engoron has ruled that Trump's $175 million bond in the New York fraud case he's using a California insurance company will be allowed to stand. Okay.
Yeah, that's Engoron. In fact, Letitia James. This is unbelievable. Trump came up with the money, and Letitia James today said, well, you know, the bond companies can't afford a $173 million bond, so we're going to make sure Trump should go to jail instead, revoke his bond, and the judge said, well, no, he's got the money. I mean, this is unbelievable. She's trying to put him in jail. And by the way, is there anybody in the world who really thinks that Donald Trump is at risk to flee the country? I mean, seriously, what bond for what? Is he going anywhere? He's under 4 trials. Where do you think he's going to go?
And is there anyone in the world that doesn't think this is tampering in an election?
It's an election interference that's just never been done before. And again,
4 trials in 4 Democratic cities, all at the same time before an election.
And they're 5 or 6 years old in some of these cases, including this one, and they waited till one exact time when he was running for re-election again, and that's when they brought him forward. And it's so obvious. I can't believe that all these aren't going to be tossed out by appeals courts and eventually get to the Supreme Court and say just the whole thing was a sham. And by the way, these freaking Democrats, you keep saying, you know, Donald Trump's a Nazi. Donald Trump is, anti-democracy. They're the ones who are doing the Nazi things. Censorship, getting your opponent off the polls. I mean, God, every time you turn around.
And if we let them get away with this, every election for the rest of your life is going to be controlled by one party. And we already think it's a uniparty.
A uniparty system.
It'll be the complete Democrats.
And again, if they take control of the Congress again and re-elect another Democrat, they will pass House Resolution 1, which is what would federalize elections. And the Democrats would win every one from there on, as they also would put 19 members on the Supreme Court. That's what they want. They also would make Washington, D.C. a state. So that's another state, a liberal state. I mean, these people, honestly, that's their platform. They said that Resolution 1 6 years ago. But they took control again. Make Washington, D.C. a state so they could vote and have 2 senators. I mean, think about this. If Washington, D.C. all of a sudden has 2 senators and a congressman, they can vote now, but oh my God.
One would be on crack, but the other one would vote.
But seriously. I mean, they're forking the system. They're fixing it.
Forking?
Well, it's a new word. I came very close to saying
you did.
Something else.
I think you meant to say spork.
Sporking. They were sporking the system with those fake spork things. And McDonald's sporking sporker. Shut up. 3:30. Morning show. Joe is never coming back. 3:30. Get out. Do something. Get me out of here. I'm going to need it. You got anything on the truck over there to calm me down?
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's Pete, and here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
We need more prisons. We need more jails. We need more swift, certain punishment. The biggest deterrent to crime out there is swift and certain punishment. That's why I want to see us really streamline the capital punishment laws in this country to where we can convict a murderer, sentence him to death, give them a streamlined 45-day appeal process, and then fry them.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
Hey, Dad, can I ask you something?
Sure.
How do you know when you're in love?
Well, can't stop thinking about him. Your heart races sometimes, and you just want to be with him every moment of the day.
Dad, I think I'm in love then.
Got a picture?
Yeah.
Oh, yep. I remember my first Subaru, too.
There are so many reasons to love a new Subaru. From Subaru of Gwinnett, like standard symmetrical all-wheel drive on most models, top-rated gas mileage, and technology and safety that will give you the warm and fuzzies. Like the 2024 Subaru Crosstrek, with 182 horsepower and up to 120 cubic feet of interior space. Or the 2024 Subaru Outback, built to take you off the beaten path with up to 9.5 inches of ground clearance. Add in their amazing staff, an incredible service department, and you'll understand why love is what makes a Subaru a Subaru. But the only way to know it's the one is to come in for a test drive. Subaru of Gwinnett, Satellite Boulevard in Duluth, or start shopping online at SubaruofGwinnett.com.
Is this the year you want to grow your business? Do you want to expand your team? Build a new office? Hey, it's Tug, and I want to tell you about First Liberty Building and Loan. Aren't you exhausted by going to lenders, building a relationship, and a week later, you're dealing with a new person? You won't have to with First Liberty Building and Loan. The Frost family has been helping businesses grow since the 90s, and they can help you too. They know the patterns, they know the ebbs and flows, and they know business. Now the Frost family wants to know you. FirstLibertyGA.com. Buying a building, building a building, buying a franchise, or expanding. Reach out and spend 10 minutes with them. See if you're a fit for them and if they're a fit for you. FirstLibertyGA.com. By the way, if you're a young banker and you want to work with a team that's faith-friendly with a culture of excellence, First Liberty might be a good match. Reach out to First Liberty Building and Loan at FirstLibertyGA.com. That's FirstLibertyGA.com.
Looking for bold discussions on vital issues? Tune in to The Janelle King Show every Saturday at 3 p.m. with an encore episode every Sunday at 9 a.m. right here on Extra 106.3, where we dive into kitchen table topics that are essential for a strong republic. Don't miss an episode, but if you do, it's all good because we have new podcasts that drop every Tuesday on the Podcast Park or wherever you get your podcasts. Don't miss out on these thought-provoking conversations.
The future of business in Georgia is bright, and Georgia Power is a driving force behind its progress and innovation. From the buzzing coffee shops that wake us up each morning, the restaurants that feed us, the gyms where we work out, to the bustling warehouses crafting our tomorrow, and the people that make it all happen. Georgia Power is the lifeblood of our state's success story. Together, we're shining a spotlight on the businesses that will keep our communities thriving. Sports venues like Georgia Tech's Bobby Dodd Stadium and Lake Point Sports are being upgraded to better serve the huge demand for sports in the state. And all those upgrades need power. And let's not forget the industries who've moved here and are shaping our future. From cutting-edge tech startups to innovative manufacturers, Georgia Power is fueling their growth every step of the way. So let's celebrate the unsung heroes of our economy, the local businesses powered by Georgia Power. Tune in all year long to discover the stories behind the energy powering the future of Georgia.
3:33 with a Kimmer Pete and Morning Show Joe for Flounders. I'll be back tomorrow helping out his lady friend with a little charity event sometimes, so that's nice and we're very happy for him. Beautiful day. Braves in town tonight. It's who's in town? Marlins? Marlins. Excellent. And in fact, I wanted to ask you, I got a couple of Holy Crap at Sports coming up after 5. And I wanted to ask you, in fact, let me ask you a quick thing here with the Morning Show Joe and Pete Davidson joining me, the Kimmer. Dave Matthews first, 1991, hold on, I can't see anything anymore. 1991, Dave Matthews Band played their first ever live show when they appeared at the Earth Day Festival in Charlottesville, Virginia. And again, this is Earth Day, the first Earth Day in history. And in fact, when I took my daughter Jennifer to Colorado State University, it was she founded the first Earth Day at Colorado State University. My daughter did, many years ago. Our birthday list includes Janet Ivanovich, 81, the author. Do you read her? Have you ever enjoyed her stuff? You haven't really? She's different. She's pretty funny. She's in fact, she does. She actually, I must have been years. I haven't read her in 20 years, but she is very clever about the way women go nuts for men and then girl fights. It's really very, very funny stuff. I think Janet Ivanovich is a very funny author. And I may go buy a book of hers if I can find one when I go looking, just because I used to enjoy the crap out of it.
You know, they have libraries. You could just join in.
I could do that. Do libraries even get books anymore?
Yes. They'll get you any book you want.
Actual book?
They'll get you a book
so I can take it out and go home with it and bring it back? Well, I don't believe that.
You live in Fulton County. They have a great library system.
They used to.
They still do.
Well,
the Sandy Springs one's wonderful.
There's a library where I go near the stable, and a library not far from me in downtown Alpharetta, Roswell.
I went there a year ago looking for a book, and it was at the University of Alabama, and they sent for it, and they mailed it to Sandy Springs and said, hey, your book's here, and I picked it up, all free.
Well, I'm going to start doing that because I can't. They stopped doing the freaking the best sellers at the grocery stores. The paperback bestseller. I would buy 3 of those every time I went in there, and now I buy none because they don't sell them. You got to be kidding me.
There was one stipulation. I had to get the book back within a couple weeks because it was the book at the University of Alabama.
Well,
they wanted it back.
Thank you. Anyway, 336. A quick history note here. I think I had one here. I was going to do something. No, I can't. Here we go. Oh, if you haven't, in fact, we talked about this the other day. On this day in the year 2000, if you haven't seen the pictures, check out the capture and removal of 6-year-old Elian Gonzalez. His mother had taken him from Cuba without his father's permission. During the voyage, the mother drowned. So Elian was left all alone with relatives in Florida. And then all of a sudden, the father said, wait a minute, that's my kid. His mother's dead. I want him back. So the government said, okay, you can have him back. So they sent a SWAT team with machine guns and grabbed him, took him away with force, and went back to his father. And if you haven't seen those pictures...
And lied about it, too.
Oh, my God.
Who was the one that was lying about it?
Janet Reno.
No, her underling, Eric...
not
Swalwell.
Oh, God. No, you had to say it.
Well, he lied to CBS. They had him on that Sunday morning. And he said, well, he was not forced. And they said, we got a picture of him with he didn't
there were
have...
no guns. Yeah, there were guns.
Had the gun. Well, he wasn't pointing at anybody. Yeah. Shows him pointing the gun at the uncle and the kid.
Right.
They said, well, his finger was on the trigger, so they zeroed in on the finger on the trigger. It's lie after lie after lie. Yeah. And that woman died for nothing.
Yeah.
Hurt nothing.
Right. Yeah. That's horrible. That was 24 years ago. I think it was. Jeez. 337. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. How's it going?
He's the one that had the
Eric, the former
Congress.
Comer.
No, not Comer. That's James Comer.
Oh, God.
Eric.
I know. I'm killing myself here.
Oh, he looked like a Muppet.
I know. I hate this.
He's still running his mouth.
404-741-1230. 404-741-1230. If you can help us out with Eric, the guy who was the alien is out anyway. And Supreme Court again talking about this challenge to municipal ordinances. Eric Holder. That's right. Former FBI director.
What?
He was acting. I think he was the acting FBI
he was Attorney General.
Oh, that's right. Attorney General. That's right. I bet even worse. Because FBI is under the Attorney General. Yeah, even worse. Eric Holder. God, right. Oh, wow. Isn't that funny? I mean, we lived through that, and now it's just long ago history, and it's just, I hate
But he's still...
he's still around.
Affecting things.
Running his mouth. Yeah, absolutely.
He was it Congress said, you need to come in here, and he said, no, I'm not going to do it. Right. Contempt. Yeah. And nothing ever happened to him, because he's a Democrat.
Nothing happened. Unlike Hunter Biden. Yeah, absolutely correct. Anyway, we'll get the thing. Okay.
Also, he was around with the Waco thing.
That's right, too.
Under Clinton, right?
That's
Reno
right,
and her.
Yeah, that's right, Janet Reno, yeah. The branch, Crispy Christians.
Blood on his hands.
Yeah, there you are. Columbia University and Yale and MIT, hundreds of protesters taking over again. And Columbia President Dr. Nimat Minouche Shaflik.
Bless you.
Thank you. Says that she is terribly, deeply saddened by the actions of agitators and anti-Jewish slogans and chants. We need a reset. Columbia's condemned anti-Semitic language, intimidating, harassing behavior. And she says, let's sit down and talk about those we differ with. It's a terrible conflict. We need to talk about that. Let's sit down and talk and argue and find ways to compromise on solutions. That's not it, lady. Jesus. She says, there's much more debate about whether or not we should use police on campus. So they don't even know what to do. I mean, I remember Columbia University, again, was the hot spot for college campuses in the Vietnam and civil rights and the Black Panthers and, the free will and the women's burn your bride. I mean, everything that was going on in the 60s and 70s was Columbia University. And the cops weren't goofing around. I mean, the school said, fine, we're all liberals, we'll do whatever you want. But the cops weren't taking that kind of crap off of people. I mean, there were heads being bashed back when we had these protests like that.
If this was the KKK taking over, there'd be no talk about free speech.
Okay. How about this? If this is the extent you'll go to, which is basically nothing, to say, well, we need to sit down and talk. If there had been throngs of white supremacists condemning black people, saying from the C to the C for the N-words, C to the C for the N-words, you don't think that Biden would have called out the National Guard?
Yep.
There'd be shoulder-to-shoulder guardsmen with guns.
And justifiably so.
Absolutely.
Which is why it should be there now.
It's just unbelievable. I mean, come on. Yeah. Again, I keep coming back to this. It's such a cliche in my head. If he would just change the political party, if it had been the other way around, they would have done exactly what they're condemning conservatives for doing.
And we know, we have history. The National Guard showing up on a college campus and opening fireworks.
Well, it certainly solved that one problem there at Kent State.
It sure did.
Well, they shouldn't be burning down ROTC buildings. I don't know.
You shouldn't throw rocks at teenagers with guns.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, again, the world is just exploding, and now it's getting worse. And again, it's for the wrong reasons. And by the way, since when is it okay for all these Jew-hating liberal white Democrats to just sort of take over everything with their hatred? I mean, seriously. And by the way, they're all a bunch of freaking cowards. I say every Jewish person and everybody who's a victim of these attacks should be carrying mace. And when someone comes up to you and screams in your face, "Oh, that's a frontal assault," squank. Mm-hmm. Everybody should be carrying mace. I'm sure, and let them have it. Let them have. But for one thing, these people are not real. They're not terrorists. They're not going to go. They're not going to volunteer to go to Palestine and try to slit the throat of Israeli babies. I mean, they're not going to do that. These are cowards. These are go-alongs. These are sheep. These are part of a movement, and they're screaming and yelling because it's fun. It's what they do. They get involved. They're active. I mean, this is what they do for a living.
It's fun.
It's their. We're going down to the thing. Oh yeah.
And they get laid doing it.
Well, there you are, because they're the easy ones. Protest chicks are easy.
Yep.
Sorry. That's freaking true. I'm sorry. It's true.
I joined every group at Georgia State I could find. We're talking World Wildlife Fund, Amnesty International, all of them. Man.
Anyway.
You're not wrong.
Parties.
But seriously.
Greenpeace.
The whole freaking idea. I mean, a good punch in the nose. Seriously, you don't have to take this crap off of people.
I put the peace in Greenpeace.
Well, there you are. I mean, they're just doing it. It's stand up to them.
And they're doing it on your money.
Yeah, and now Columbia's University said, well, you better stay home. All you Jews better stay home because, you're going to get attacked. So from now on, all your classes will be on Zoom or whatever. No more going to school.
How much are you paying for your kid to go put up with that?
That's like $80,000, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's got to be more than that.
I think all the Ivy Leagues are between $79,000 and $99,000 a year.
I know someone who graduated with a master's degree. It can't be all that.
Well, I was on, thank God, the GI Bill in full scholarship.
Well, I'm not talking about you.
Oh.
I know someone else who got through.
Oh.
And if they got through, can't be all that.
Well, I also won 2 National Association of Broadcasters scholarships that no one has ever done before.
You also, one of your schools you went to is on the list the DOJ is investigating for anti-Semitism.
Well, there's a lot of badness going on in the world. Must be Michigan State.
No, it's the other one.
Arizona State.
Yeah.
Well, that's different.
Yeah.
They all are.
They all
if you're a white liberal girl, you hate Jews
it's
all of a sudden.
Yeah.
They all are. Seriously, when the hell did that happen, by the way? Anyway.
San Diego State's on the list. I went to San Diego State. You don't have time. You're surfing. You're watching the girls. You're not paying attention to what's world politics.
The whole thing is freaking ridiculous. And now they have the kids to stay home at Columbia. MIT, they had them. Yale, they had them again today. Ilhan Omar's daughter, 21-year-old Irsa Hirsi, says she's homeless and starving because the school cut off her food program. And she had kicked her out of her dorm. She had nowhere to live. Go see mommy.
If she'd only stayed in Somalia, she'd have all the food.
No, that's too bad.
That wouldn't work either.
Well, maybe she should marry her brother or something. See if she can't get another bed and breakfast idea going here. Good God. 3:45, almost 3:45. Hey, tell you what, yes. Yeah,
I just got an alert, a bulletin from Amazon.com of a deal. Says this is a deal for you, Mr. Davis. You know what it is?
What?
It is a all-in-one mini gold prospecting kit.
Gold prospecting?
I think I'm getting it.
Yeah, but where do you have to go to gold prospect?
I have a creek
right where you are.
Yeah.
Well, then you should get it. And I want a video. We want video. Oh, my God. It's 4:45. And by the way, you're going to hear Bill Maher, who once again is making sense for a screaming liberal. He's done it again. It's a lot. We won't play the whole thing because it's too long, but we'll play a bunch of it, and I think you'll like it. Plus, are dogs now slammed as colonial settlers, causing gentrification in cities? If you get a dog, you're causing people to lose. Oh, God. Coming up, 4:15. Give her Pete and it's Morning Show Joe for Flounder.
latest breaking news to the conservative voices you know and trust. Your best new follow on social media is Extra 1063. We're at XTRA 1063 on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, and LinkedIn, and pretty much any social media you scroll through every day. And we drop exclusive giveaways, new daily content, and the latest breaking news from Georgia and across this great nation. Interact with your favorite Extra personalities. Get the latest on our live events and so much more. Follow at Extra 1063 across all your social media and keep up with Atlanta's only conservative voice.
Springtime is here. Looking for a fun weekend with family, friends, and the kids? The Mitsubishi Electric Classic, presented by Venture, Georgia's only PGA Tour Champions event, returns to Metro Atlanta April 26th to the 28th. Pick your favorite hole to watch along the ropes or find public seating throughout the course. Children 15 and under receive complimentary tickets with purchase by an adult. Join the excitement at TPC Sugarloaf in Duluth, Georgia from April 26th to the 28th. Tickets available at MitsubishiElectricClassic.com/tickets.
Hey Atlanta, it's Mark from the Safe House. And now, the security riddle of the day. What's less secure than a fake safe from a furniture or big box store? Joe Biden's fake border policy, of course. But hey, there is good news. This time next year, Joe Biden will not be president. So drop by Atlanta Safe House and check out the largest selection of safes in the Southeast. Build a wall around your valuables with a safe from the Safe House. We have certified delivery crews to install your safe. With over 30 years in the safe business, the Safe House is the place to buy safe in Georgia. So go to AtlantaSafeHouse.com.
Hey homeowners, Tug here with some exciting news. Southern Exteriors is your one-stop solution for top-notch exterior services, from roofing to siding, windows, gutters, and more. No more waiting. They can start on your project immediately. And with an in-house warranty division, Southern Exteriors stands by their work for years to come. From leaky roofs to faded siding, trust Southern Exteriors for a quick and lasting transformation. Don't wait. Transform your home today. Call 877-9-SOUTHERN or visit southernexteriors.co now. Southern Exteriors, quality and precision you can rely on for over 20 years.
Get ready for Real Talk on the Janelle King Show, where we tackle kitchen table topics that are banned from family gatherings, but crucial for a strong republic. Tune in every Saturday at 3 p.m. and every Sunday for an encore episode at 9 a.m. And if you can catch us live, great. But if not, no worries. New podcasts drop every Tuesday on the Podcast Park right here on Extra 106.3 or wherever you get your podcast. Join us for insightful conversations that matter.
It's happening daily. We're being conned by the institutions we used to trust. The mainstream media is distracting us with meaningless headlines instead of focusing on the harsh realities facing American families. Time is short before something big happens, and that's why so many folks are preparing. They're becoming self-reliant by investing in emergency food storage from My Patriot Supply. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com and secure 4-week emergency food kits for each member of your family. Each kit contains tasty breakfasts, lunches, and dinners, averaging over 2,000 calories per day. Save $50 on each 4-week food kit you purchase. Plus, get free shipping on Ready Hour 4-week emergency food kits. You're not ready if it's not Ready Hour Foods. At My Patriot Supply, you can also get solar power generators, water filtration units, heirloom seeds, and survival gear. Order by 3 p.m. and your unmarked boxes ship the same day. Shop MyPatriotSupply.com today. MyPatriotSupply.com.
I like this one. It's only the Kimmer with Pete Davidson. Morning Show Joe for Flounder today, who's off for helping his little lady friend, Veronica. And here's, I'll play a little Madonna. I like this part. I like the harmony. I love this stuff.
Oh God, I think I'm falling out of the sky. I close my eyes. Heaven help me.
All right, here we go. I love this song. I don't like Madonna. I think she's a scam.
It's a good song.
But I like this song, and I love that. I love the sweet harmony. I just love that sweet harmony. And see, look at Morning Show Joe's rocking out in there.
It's a good one.
It's a great song.
I prefer Like a Virgin.
That's true, but this is my number one. But I like 3 songs of hers, I think, and this is one of them. Anyway.
Beautiful Stranger from one of the Austin Powers movies is a good song from her.
I don't think I know that one. I don't think I've ever heard that song. Anyway, we're playing this because, and again, Joe's filling in for our musical director of Flounder, 1989. Oh, let's say here again. Here we go.
It's like a dream.
Just 10 seconds. Shut up. Really.
No end and no beginning. You're here with me. It's like a dream. Let the choir sing.
Madonna, 3 weeks at #1 singles with Like a Prayer. Her 7th #1, also #1 in Britain. All right, so it's on Monday. We're getting a little crazy here, and that's a show. That's the way it goes. By the way, this is Glenn Campbell's birthday. Born in 1936, died in 2017. To this day, one of the greatest guests I've ever interviewed, and one of the nicest gentlemen I've ever met. So it was a studio for
you just did that Friday.
I know, but people who may have missed that 20 seconds Friday may not have heard that Friday, so I'm saying it, but it was his birthday, that's why I mentioned it. And now the actual birthday list includes Mel Carter. Hold Me, Thrill Me, Kiss Me, the singer. Mel Carter's 85.
Never heard of him.
Oh, my God. Well,
I've heard of Nell Carter,
the female actress. Yeah. But no, this is Mel Carter. You've heard that song. It'd be ridiculous. On this day, 1952, for the first time in history, television viewers were able to see the actual detonation of an atomic bomb at the Yucca Flats testing site in Nevada. The bomb was larger than both the ones we dropped on civilians in Japan, 1952. Da-da-da-da. Again, we dropped atomic bombs on innocent civilians twice. So don't mess with us.
Maybe not so innocent.
Well, I mean, most of the people dead were, hated us, but they weren't taking up arms against us. I mean, the villagers and stuff. But still, you call it anything you want. We still, we said, oh, really? You didn't like the first one? Japan, yeah, that's all you got? No. We have one more little boy or whatever. Anyway. God. All right, 352.
Bomb, 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 bomb.
All right, then. Thank you. Hey, let's play a little Bill Maher, and then we're going to Flounder's Funny for Joe's jokes here. First, little Bill Maher was on talking about what's going on. Ron DeSantis may be right. This business with Disney's battle with Republicans and gender changing and queer kids and stuff and all that stuff. Bill Maher makes a point. Check this out.
Have you all been watching the Max documentary called Quiet on Set, The Dark Side of Kids TV? OMG. Nickelodeon, it wasn't a studio, it was Neverland Ranch with craft services. It is just scene after scene, clip after clip of the child stars of their day being subjected to obviously inappropriate, highly sexualized degradation, and quite a few pickles going through glory holes. I was grossed out, and I've gone camping with John Waters. So I don't know if this documentary is the talk of your town, but it is out here because it didn't just expose a dangerous workplace. It also exposed hypocrisy. Because it must be pointed out that when the evil governor of Florida was saying the exact same thing about kids and creepy stuff at Disney that liberals now find intolerable at Nickelodeon, he was dismissed as a hick and a bigot. But why would a kids' content factory like Disney be all that different than the one at Nickelodeon? A 2014 CNN report discovered that at least 35 Disney employees had been arrested for sex crimes against children, and in 2021, Disney child star Allison Stoner confessed she only narrowly survived the toddler-to-train wreck pipeline. The next year, child star Cole Sprouse told the New York Times that young actresses at the Disney Channel were heavily sexualized from an early age. Willie Sutton said he robbed banks because that's where the money is. And the reason we find pedophiles in the Boy Scouts and the Rectory and kids' TV is that's where the kids are.
Boom.
DeSantis wasn't wrong, but we're so tribal now, the left will overlook child if the guy from the wrong party calls it out. Sure, Nickelodeon messed up Amanda Bynes, but the Mickey Mouse Club was where Britney Spears got her start, and she's perfectly fine. And get this, after Brian Peck, who was one of the lead creeps at Nickelodeon, served 16 months in prison for the molesting he did there, Disney hired him, naturally to work on a children's series. For pedophiles in Hollywood, it's a small world after all. And not just Hollywood. There are Instagram moms these days who are practically only fansing their itty-bitty beauty queen daughters by having them wear skimpy bikinis and eat bananas to build social media stardom. They're called sharenters, a hybrid of sharing and parent. I call them pimps, a hybrid of pimp and And people who believe in social justice have agreed this is wrong and this is bad, and exposing kids to an adult world of lurid costumes and garish makeup borders on abuse. Now, hurry up and get in the car. We're late for Drag Queen Story Hour. Not that there's anything wrong with being a drag queen, but maybe it's time to admit that sometimes Drag Queen Story Hour is more for the queen than the kids. Sure, kids love a clown, but does the clown have to have
breasts? That's what he said there.
And when I see a 5-year-old tipping at a bar under a sign that says it's not going to lick itself, do I have to pretend that's cool in order to keep my liberal ID card? Sorry, I can't do that. If you want kids to be more tolerant, why not have handicapped people read them stories? Kids are more likely to encounter disabled people than drag queens in life. Geez, can't we just go back to the good old days when kids were read simple stories with simple morals like, if you're a lonely single man, just make a boy out of wood.
Anyway, Bill Maher, 357. And by the way, he made one line in here, and we're going to do a Flounders Funny here in a second. He said, contrary to progressive dogma, children are not miniature adults wise beyond their years. They're morons. They're gullible. Children are not miniature adults. Yeah. God, that's the line. Children are not miniature adults. Stop acting like they are, and they know what they're doing at 9.
Well, the parents are doing this to make themselves popular.
Exactly. You're not their friend. Miniature adult. All right, 357. How about a little Flounders? Sponsored by Nucky's Hoagies with our friend Morning Show Joe. Here we go. What do you got?
I remember nothing from school. People talk about history to me, and I'm like, I don't know when you guys learned that. I think we skipped all of this.
I think Spergazzi.
I almost didn't graduate high school. I had an F in science. I was taking a class called science my senior year in high school. I mean, I had an F, and my dad went and talked to the teacher and just said, look, just give him a D. He's not going to do science stuff. And the teacher agreed to it. She was that confident I wouldn't touch the science world. We took ACTs, and I got a 17 on it. And if you don't know ACTs, I mean, 18 is good. They're like, that's not good, man, but you made it. 17, they're like, are you enrolled in this school? Like, what are you doing? The only thing I remember is in 7th grade, we had a kid fist fight our PE teacher. That stuck with me. I mean, he was too old to be in 7th grade. He drove to 7th grade. If you're a 7th grade teacher and one of the kids drives, you just know you got to fight that kid one day. Like, I mean, it's just happening. Like
Nate Bargatze, he's one of my favorites of all time. And we got a couple more comedy bits sponsored by our good friends, the Sub Sisters at Nucky's Hoagies.
Yeah, that is funny. But you got to think about it. We've been doing this since the 50s now. We think it's funny to be stupid in school.
Yeah, I know. The
rest of the world doesn't think that way.
Well, I'm not sure.
It's funny to laugh about how we don't pay attention in school.
Yeah. Well, it's getting worse now. In fact, coming up, believe it or not, handwriting. This is, I posted a video on Facebook and YouTube today, right here in the studio, about handwriting and your IQ.
Yeah. Well, it's on the wall.
It's coming up to almost
handwriting on the
4 o'clock. That's true. Well, yeah, we have Holy Crap at Sports. We have Peach Tweets. We have
food tasting.
Food. Are you hungry? No, he's not hungry. No, the morning show trying knocking. No, he doesn't want any of that. We have Ten's what it is and where you got it. If
it's in a bag
across the street where the ballpark is, I don't know. So 4 o'clock, give her Pete and Joe for Flounder on 106.3.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. This hour is presented by Atlanta Safe House.
criticism from the president. Lisa Brady, Fox News. President Biden answering a reporter's question says he condemns anti-Semitic protests on college campuses and that he also condemns those who, quote, don't understand what's going on with the Palestinians. This as protests at Columbia University continues, spreading to other campuses, including Yale, where more than 40 people were arrested after tents were set up.
Now, overnight, the president of Columbia University calling for a reset. What does that mean? Well, we're going to have to wait and see here. President Manoush Shafiq shifting everything to virtual classes to de-escalate.
Fox's Alexis McAdams in New York City. Testimony begins at former President Trump's criminal trial in New York, where he's accused of falsifying business records to hide hush money payments.
During opening statements, the DA's office accused Trump of engaging in a criminal conspiracy and cover-up to suppress damaging stories prior to the 2016 presidential election, while Trump and his lawyers say that he's innocent and did nothing more than pay his lawyer.
Fox's Nate Foy at State Supreme Court. The former president says the case is aimed at interfering with this year's election. As the former president appeals a civil fraud judgment against him, a legal clash over the bond he posted in that case appears to be settled.
The Attorney General of New York, Letitia James, had questioned the qualifications of Knight Specialty Insurance Company to guarantee the $175 million would be available. A deal now allows Knight to keep the money in a strictly cash account that will draw interest. That money also cannot be moved into other funds. The bond protects assets owned by the former president from being seized to cover a $454 million judgment that he misled investors and bankers about how wealthy he is.
Fox's Gernal Scott. Wall Street rallies. The Dow up 254 at the bell. That's actually off the session highs. America is listening to Fox News.
All right, who's there for heroes or their families left behind when a service member or a first responder dies or is catastrophically injured in the line of duty? Who helps our country's homeless vets? I'll tell you who. It's the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. Never forget the sacrifices of our country's greatest heroes. They're hoping all of us will donate $11 a month. Just go to their website, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org, the letter T, number 2, letter T.org for the Tunnel to Towers Foundation.
Hear that? The sound of your antique fountain pen gliding across linen paper as you journal in the park. And if you were here, you'd be inspired by the warm breeze. But you're not here. Because your self-care happens out on the road, riding your motorcycle protected by Progressive. And the wind in your face on the road is all the inspiration you need. So if you ride, get a quote and see if you could save with Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Now that's inspiring. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Rough. That's right, man. Coming to play the time of the people, man. Oh, yeah. I have no idea what I was saying there. 1978, Bob Marley and the Wailers were at the One Love Peace concert in Jamaica. It was Marley's first public appearance in Jamaica since being wounded in an assassination attempt a year and a half earlier, 1976. Bob Marley, and he died from a toe infection of cancerous toe nail
spread.
Yeah. God, have you ever been to Jamaica?
No.
Morning Show Joe, you been to Jamaica?
I've been to Jamaica.
Yeah, I've been to Jamaica.
Yeah,
the funny thing about Jamaica, a couple of stories. First of all, if you go there and you rent a Jeep and they're like pink or pink and white, so everybody knows it's a tourist Jeep. So you come to a stop sign and people, local guys will jump in the back of your Jeep saying, "Oh, we're going to tow it for $10. I'll show you where the place to go." I mean, you get hounded all the time. If you drive anywhere outside. Anywhere in that Jeep, every time you pass a hut or a house or something kind of isolated, people will be running out of their houses holding giant sticks of marijuana. These huge bales of marijuana on a stick. Oh, ganja. I mean, you can't go anywhere without people saying, "Oh, here." I mean, it's unbelievable. I don't know how they get anything done.
You had the moral turpitude and backbone to say no.
I had to turn them down, ladies and gentlemen. It would have been wrong. It would have been very wrong.
Come to the hotel room later.
Oh, my God. I mean, geez. Anyway, Jamaica, Bob Marley. All right, so our birthday list includes, I'm strangling here. Our birthday list includes Jack Nicholson, 87 years old today.
Damn.
And I think he's still going to basketball games, or was. I think there was a story about him showing up not too long ago. Good for him. Although I think the story was that he's almost unrecognizable, maybe, or something. I don't know. Let's see. Kimmer Pete and Jofer floundered today. And on this day in history, in 1864, the U.S. Congress passed legislation that would allow the inscription, "In God We Trust," to be included on the 1 cent and 2 cent coins. Have you ever had a 2 cent penny? A 2 center?
Don't believe so.
I don't think I ever have either. Joey, ever seen a 2 cent coin? A 2 center penny? It wouldn't be a penny, it would be 2 pennies.
Joey, you ever seen a...
You like movies about gladiators?
Joey?
No, I haven't.
405.
You ever seen a grown man naked?
There you go. Oh, mercy. Coming up, we're going to hear about how Delta Burke used to use crystal meth.
Okay, explain who Delta Burke is.
Oh, you don't think people know Delta Burke?
They've probably forgotten.
Well, all right. Well,
she's got one claim to fame.
Well, that's true, but she's
married to Gerald McRaney.
Yeah,
other than that,
who was coach or not coach? Coach
Simon and Simon. No, Simon and Simon. Gerald McRaney's been a lot of stuff, but no, he's not coach.
No. Well, who was coach?
Oh God, what was his name? Big tall guy. He was on.
Craig T. Nelson.
Yeah, Craig T. Nelson.
I got you. Yeah, okay. Anyway, Delta Burke was the woman on the Designing Women, and she was always fairly not a petite lady,
pretty,
but she was beautiful. And here's the deal. Delta Burke said that she was on a podcast, and she said when she was in London, she started taking prescription pills for weight loss. Someone said, hey, I'll get you some of those black beauties, and she'd take the pill in the morning so she won't eat. She said they were like medicine. Turned out she built up a tolerance, so instead Delta Burke was offered as a substitute crystal meth. She said nobody knew about crystal meth at the time. Burke was told to snort it, but she didn't think that was a good idea, so she drank it with cranberry juice. She was Women of the House star, would drink a glass before going to work. She was Filthy Rich, starring in Filthy Rich, wouldn't eat for 5 days. They were saying, your butt's too big, your legs are too big. I look back now, she says to Delta Burke at those pictures and go, I was freaking goddess. Designing Women, Suzanne Sugarbaker, flashy, materialistic former beauty queen. As opposed to her sister, Julia, played by Dixie Carter. Delta was nominated for 2 Emmys for the role. Anyway, she said it was incredibly ugly. She was emotionally too fragile from Designing Women. The narratives were, they asked her if she was pregnant. One fan pulled her coat apart and said, let's see how fat are you? Delta Burke said, Hollywood will mess up your head. I always thought I want to be a famous actress, but I thought that meant you'd be a famous and well-respected actress. But she says, no. I didn't want this, and then it was too late, so it got ugly and sad, and she quit. Her dream turned into a nightmare, and Delta Burke left. What are we doing? A taste test?
Want to do a taste test?
You want to do a taste test there, Morning Show Joe?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's do it. I see a bag of something.
You like goldfish?
I have always enjoyed goldfish. The little, not the swimming things, the actual cracker. The goldfish cracker, little gold crackers. I have. Yes, I have. I like those.
They have 3 new tastes now.
Really?
And I got this one. It's salt and vinegar.
The salt is good. I'm not sure the vinegar would be good.
They have 3 different flavors now. So I thought
because the gold ones are real salty. That's why I like them, because they're real salty.
Are they still cheesy?
Yeah, the original ones were very cheesy and very salty, so they were perfect. Well, let's try this. So this is we'll dump some out here on a
your paper.
Just put on paper there. Yeah, there you go. That'll work. Thank you. Morning Show Joe.
Some during the commercial, Joe.
All right, now let's show them to the little people.
Come on in.
If you can see them, they're kind of lighter colored. They're not gold. They're sort of light tan or yellowish. They're not dark gold like the other ones were. And they're about the same size. They look puffy. They look like puffs. I'm eating one now.
What do you think?
They're lighter and
they are lighter, aren't they?
And flakier, and I don't like the vinegar.
You know what they taste like?
I just tasted the vinegar after 3 or 4 chews. I don't like them.
Chicken and a biscuit. You ever ate those?
Yeah.
My grandfather loved it. I love chicken and a biscuit.
Haven't even seen those in 40 years, I'll bet
It's
you.
exactly what this tastes like.
These are delicious.
I'm a little too anti-vinegary. If there's just the salt part, but if they had cheese instead of the vinegar, I'd be a lot happier.
You don't like sour cream and onion chips?
Yeah,
These are delicious.
My best kind are just lots of salt, sea salt.
Oh my, muy delicioso.
Okay,
Si, senor.
Oh my gosh.
Ay, Dios mío.
I know. Again, they're called what? Salt and vinegar. Crisps. What are they? Goldfish crisps.
Goldfish crisps, and they got 3 different flavors now.
Yeah.
They're not paying me to do this either.
No. I mean, it's tasty. I'm enjoying it, but I wouldn't go buy a pack because I don't like the vinegar part of it.
Well, try the other.
I will. I'm going to do that. For $4.10 with a Kimmer, Pete, and Joe for pounder.
I bought these up in Williamsburg. And I forgot to bring them in last week, so all the way from Virginia.
Oh, my goodness. Excellent. On our break for whatever it was. Mm-hmm. When were you in Williamsburg? For our vacation?
A couple weeks ago. Yeah. Drove up there.
Yeah. Let's see. President Potato Head's done it again. The Prime Minister of Papua New Guinea says, no, whoa. Excuse me.
He was very tasty, Joe.
Yeah. So tell me about your dinner.
Some fava beans.
God, the Papua New Guinea Prime Minister says, now just a minute. We don't eat people. Come on. God. He says all this loose talk about your behavior. Last thing anybody needs, all the loose talk about it. Sit down, Danny. The Prime Minister said Biden's contentious remarks that our relationship should be stronger than one blurry moment, but he said Biden complains, of course. President White Trash said that his uncle got shot down and eaten by cannibals and never recovered his freaking body, which didn't happen. But so he talked about cannibals. And so the Prime Minister said, no, wait a minute. The Prime Minister says that this is just not right. We don't do that kind of thing. My country does not deserve to be labeled like that. He says in a separate statement, the Prime Minister of Papua New Guinea said the people of Papua New Guinea live with the fear of being killed by bombs left over from the Second World War, so please come and freaking get them. Uh-huh. We want you to, instead of focusing on cannibals, why don't you focus on cleaning up the unexploded ordnance left over in Papua New Guinea from World War II?
Somebody put a satirical piece on social media saying, what would you think if you were the poor American consulate, or what do you call them, the consul to New Guinea, and you had to go to this guy and explain what the president just said?
Yeah, sorry about that old cannibal thing. Oh, man. There are much deeper values than one statement, one word, but get to work on other things anyway. And, of course, President White Trash also regaled with the audience with an anecdote about meeting former German Chancellor Helmut Kohl in 2021, even though the man had been dead for 4 years. And he confused the French president, who was dead, with the current leader, Emmanuel Macron. So, I mean, come on. And, by the way, have you seen the commercial they're running now about how smart he is and how with it he is? Oh, God. In fact, they started playing it on the radio this morning on Glenn Beck, I think. I had to turn it off. I literally was so offended, and I'm thinking, oh, my God, they're going to get away with it again. He said, we have the best economy in the world today thanks to my policies. He actually said stuff like that. I paid $5 a gallon last week for gasoline. God. Anyway, they're getting away with it.
My dog has more on the ball, and my dog is dead.
I mean, it's just unbelievable. And that commercial is just bragging about all the achievements.
Well, he's got to do something. I mean, they just sit there, right?
God. And here's some more of what these people are thinking. They're now city dwellers are complaining that dogs are marking colonial territory and gentrifying neighborhoods. There's a hostility growing between dog owners and dog non-owners in New York City. A woman says dogs in large cities are essentially settler colonial, a way for their owners to move into and occupy more of the urban space than they are allotted while making it everyone else's problem. Settler colonial is a term of art recently adopted in the far-left activist circles to decry everything from gentrification to poor environmental stewardship to the capitalism policy itself. Settler colonial accompanies slogans by the Anti-Defamation League as anti-Semitic. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. That's settler colonial. The anti-hate organization says it's a rallying cry for Israel's destruction. That is settler colonial. So comments, how do you feel about homeless people privatizing public sidewalks with their tents? How about settler colonial when you mean kind of rude? How about creating a market to buy, sell, and trade our personal urban space allotments, mocking the whole deal? I mean, it's unbelievable.
That's it. You're coming for the dogs. The hell with all of you.
You dog owners and dog lovers are now responsible for the decay of American cities.
Come for the dogs and see what happens.
Everybody should be required to have a dog. In fact, I swear to God, if I could do one thing that I know would be very, very hard to do, I would have everybody required to grow up with a dog and make sure they had even if the government had to pay for dog sitters and dog watchers and everything else to make sure that they were never abused. In other words, I would think having a dog in a family, even if you didn't know how to take care of it and we had someone else help you take care of it, would still be beneficial to every American family.
Instead of the immigrants, why don't we just start doing the illegals? Why don't we just start funding homes for dogs?
Yeah, absolutely. I make the world a better place.
They're not with their hands out, wanting free housing and education.
A dog in your house would make you a better person and a better child.
Little paws.
5:15, 4:15. It's 4:15. It's close by a mile. And a dingy dongy too. Brent, is that Flounder?
Flounder sent something we're going to play afterwards.
Oh, cool. Outstanding. All right, so 4:50. Is he done for the day then? He couldn't be done for the day. Usually he'd start drinking and everything else. Anyway, a little charity event. All right, look out. Quarter after 4.
Maybe they had a fight.
4:15. No. Shh. No. Don't even put that out there. Kipper Pete and Joe for Flounder.
It's time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
Opening arguments today in Trump's trial. Have you figured this out yet? It's tough. I'll see if I can make it a little bit more clear what's happening. Donald Trump paid $100,000 plus to Stormy Daniels to keep her yap shut about a discussion of the Big Bang Theory they supposedly had. Trump had his fixer, Michael Cohen, pay the money to Stormy Daniels. Then Trump paid Cohen back. Are you following this so far? Now, Alvin Bragg is the Manhattan District Attorney, and he ran for that office on a promise to get Donald Trump. Elect me, and I'm going to get Donald Trump. Now, pay no attention to the fact that Alvin Bragg's predecessor in Manhattan said, I'm not filing any charges on this. And the federal government said, no thanks, we're not going to charge him either. But Alvin Bragg, he decides that this payment was a payment of a campaign expense, even though it was paid back to Michael Cohen after the election. Now, here's where it gets complicated. Alvin Bragg decides that he doesn't want to charge Trump with a misdemeanor. He wants a felony. So he decided that Donald Trump broke campaign finance laws when he paid Michael Cohen back the money that he used to pay Stormy Daniels. Campaign finance laws on a campaign that was long over. And then Bragg decides this is a felony. In fact, it was 34 separate felonies. Longer statute of limitation. Bragg has a longer time to charge Trump. Pretty neat trick for Trump to be trying to influence the 2016 election in payments that were made in 2017. At any rate, just remember Bragg's predecessor and the federal government looked at these facts and said, nothing here, we're not going to prosecute, but Bragg had made his promise to get Trump. So here we are with this ridiculous case. Can't be over soon enough. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
Hey homeowners, Tug here with some exciting news. Southern Exteriors is your one-stop solution for top-notch exterior services, from roofing to siding, windows, gutters, and more. No more waiting. They can start on your project immediately. And with an in-house warranty division, Southern Exteriors stands by their work for years to come. From leaky roofs to faded siding, trust Southern Exteriors for a quick and lasting transformation. Don't wait. Transform your home today. Call 877-9-SOUTHERN or visit southernexteriors.co now. Southern Exteriors, quality and precision you can rely on for over 20 years.
Get ready for unfiltered conversations on The Janelle King Show, where we tackle the topics that you won't hear at your family gatherings, but they're absolutely crucial for a strong republic. Don't miss us live every Saturday at 3 p.m. and every Sunday at 9 a.m. right here on Extra 106.3. But if you can't tune in, that's okay. You can catch new episodes every Tuesday on the Podcast Park or wherever you prefer to get your podcasts. Join us for these discussions, and I can't wait to meet you there.
No one plans on going to jail, but at A Second Chance Bail Bonds, we believe everyone deserves a second chance. That's the driving force behind everything we do. If you or a loved one has been arrested across town or across the country, you need help now. A Second Chance Bail Bonds works fast with bondsmen throughout Atlanta to help expedite release within hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 404-BAIL-OUT. That's 404-BAIL-OUT or online at atlbail.com.
Introducing Sonder Health Plans, your trusted local partner for Medicare Advantage in Georgia. Only in Georgia. With Sonder, you'll get comprehensive coverage that's tailored to your needs. They offer $0 primary care visits, $0 premiums, and access to a wide network of Georgia healthcare providers. Visit SonderHealthPlans.com now to learn more about their value-based care that won't break the bank. Or call 888-428-4440. Sonder Health Plans, your doctors, your neighbors, your friends.
Looking for bold discussions on vital issues? Tune in to the Janelle King Show every Saturday at 3 p.m. with an encore episode every Sunday at 9 a.m. right here on Extra 106.3, where we dive into kitchen table topics that are essential for a strong republic. Don't miss an episode, but if you do, it's all good because we have new podcasts that drop every Tuesday on the Podcast Park or wherever you get your podcasts. Don't miss out on these thought-provoking conversations.
The Atlanta Braves invite fans to come experience the brand new Blue Moon Beer Garden at Truist Park, located in right field, offering the largest variety of Molson Coors beer options and unique food pairings. Plus, there's a special ticket offer for the new space for any weekday game during the regular season. Tickets are only $30 and include a grandstand reserved game ticket and $15 added value to use toward food or beverage. Lock in your seats now for Blue Moon weekdays at Braves.com/Blue Moon. Atlanta Braves baseball. We are Braves country.
Tax season can be stressful, but it's also a wake-up call. It's time to think beyond April and plan for your future. At Master Plan Retirement Consultants, we're not just advisors, we're your partners in building a secure retirement. At Master Plan Retirement Consultants, we understand the challenges Georgians face. That's why we offer personalized strategies to maximize your retirement income, minimize taxes, and ensure you never outlive your assets. Join the Master Plan family and let us guide you through every financial milestone. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your appointment today. Master Plan Retirement Consultants, where your journey and destination are both important. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates, Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
I guess every kid who got a guitar, we tried to do this riff because it was fairly easy, I suppose. 3 notes. 422. Kimmer, Pete, and Joe for Flounder with Deep Purple from 1972. They scored their second UK #1 album with Machine Head. The album features Smoke on the Water and Highway Star, often cited as a major influence in 1972 in the early development of the heavy metal music genre, and commercially it was Deep Purple's most successful album, Machine Head. Again, that's I outlived that whole genre. I never liked it.
No, it's still around.
No, I'm just saying. No, I was too old.
We'll see who outlives you.
Thank you. Never quite got the thing. Birthday list includes. Oh, in fact, we just mentioned we played Bill Maher a minute ago, and he was joking that he's not anti-gay. Hell, he even went camping with John Waters. He said, "Well, ironically, John Waters' birthday is today. Huh. John Waters is 78." And here's what Flounder's history and birthday guy wrote. Groundbreaking, subversive, and trashy filmmaker whose credits include Pink Flamingos, Female Trouble, and the original non-musical version of Hairspray. John Waters is a proud gay man, and he has a great response to people who tell him they're straight. So is spaghetti till you heat it up. Hadn't thought of that.
Who walks up to a gay person and says, I'm straight?
Yeah, I don't.
Who does that?
I can't imagine.
Please.
Anyway.
He thinks the man protests too much.
He might do that, indeed. Let's see. Our history list includes On this day in 1978, we also talked about Saturday Night Live. 1978, John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd first appeared as the Blues Brothers on Saturday Night Live. 1978, back when it was fairly amusing. And on this day in 1994, Richard Nixon died of a stroke. He was 82. There you go. Anyway, here's the number, 404-741-1230, 741-1230. And here we go again. This I hope this turns into something. We just got notice, and I'm going to update you on the Trump legal case today. Although I haven't heard any of the opening argument. I haven't seen anything written down.
Every story just blows right past it.
That's the one thing we want to know is opening arguments. What are they saying? This man is. We want to hear what the charge is. I mean, my God,
you're watching too much Law and Order.
I know. I seriously, that's right.
Maybe it wasn't a big deal. They just said what they're going to do and moved on.
I wanted to hear what Trump's guy is saying about whether this was, a fake, a farce, election interference. I mean, what, he's making that point or just talking about the legal aspect of the law? I mean, I want to hear all of that.
The only people they've quoted about talking about it is Jonathan Turley from Fox and his female lawyer. I forget her name, the real good-looking one.
Yeah.
They're the only ones really
I know.
people are
quoting.
quoting.
I've got Turley's comments here, but again, he doesn't talk about the opening statements. He talks about the trial, which is a disgrace. I mean, this is a laughingstock of a court case in a New York court. It has no business being there. And now, we just heard about this. Apparently, President Crime Family was talking. I know when he made the mistake of walking up to reporters so they could ask him a question, and his staff is going nuts. So President White Trash goes up to reporters, and Morning Show, we have a little comment here. Check this out and see whether this reminds you of any other candidate or president concerning both sides of an issue.
Condemn the anti-Semitic protests on college campuses.
I condemn the anti-Semitic protests. That's why I've set up a program to deal with that. I also condemn those who don't understand what's going on with the Palestinians and how they're being.
Should the Columbia University president resign?
Right this way. I didn't know that. I'll have to find out more about it.
Well, he basically is saying that there are good people on both sides.
Yep, exactly what he said.
He said, well, you got your leftists over the thing, and you got the other people on the other. He said, basically, there were good people on both sides. I condemn the bad people on both sides. Gee, does that sound familiar? Again, Donald Trump never said there were good Nazis. They asked him about the issue of tearing down statues of Lincoln and Jefferson and Washington. And he said on the debate of the issue of tearing down America's history and so forth, there are good people on both sides. It's a discussion needs to be happening. He never said there were good Nazis. He never said there were good Nazis on that side and good Jews on the other. I mean, it's unbelievable.
And Biden really didn't say that, but we're going to say he did.
Yeah, let's say he said there are both people on good sides.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
We're going to lie like they do.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, if that had been Donald Trump, again, here's another example. If Donald Trump had just said those words, the media would be saying, Donald Trump says there are good people on both sides. There you are.
By the way, they're showing video of Columbia. They've all got these beautiful tents from LL Bean or wherever they're getting their tents from, Coleman. They all have Palestinian flags. Those aren't cheap. So somebody's paying for this. Somebody's organizing this.
Absolutely. And by the way, isn't it Passover? Tonight? Oh, my God.
Starts at Passover.
Lord, we beseech thee maybe to have a little Passover, modern style. How about we tell the people of the area there that put a little red mark on the good people on the good houses.
Lamb's blood.
And lamb's blood on the good people's houses, and don't tell all the other ones with their new tents. And then and see what happens. Amen. I mean, I wonder if think about if this keeps going. If this kind of destruction. Well, the end line would be if God would finally say, okay, that's it. Stop. You're done. You're gone. Bring on the locusts and the fire. I mean, come on.
If you read Revelation, there's a point where everybody attacks Israel and they send these things to attack and God's hand stops them from hitting.
Yeah.
Well, what did we see over the last few days?
Yeah, I know.
They sent
Iron
a bunch of
shield.
stuff and they were shot down.
Yeah. Again, at some point, now short of that, I don't know. I mean, it's just nonsense.
Gog and Magog.
I mean, at some point, I would assume God's going to say, "No, just hold on. That's not what I planned."
I think what their missing point is these are His chosen people.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd be poking them with a stick at this point.
Plus, they've lasted among themselves, surrounded by haters for thousands of years.
And now they have nukes.
And they have us, too. Anyway, by the way, coming up, the latest on Turley's reaction to the Donald Trump court case. Also, a fat activist said childhood obesity is a myth. And the Taylor Swift
and she's fat as hell.
And she's a pig, yeah. And the reason that her husband finally left her after what he saw her doing and having a snack with her child. Wait till you hear what they finally sent him over the edge. They sent him into the gym to say, I got to get out of here. 4:30, Kevin Pete and Joe for Flounder. Look out.
Hey, it's Rhino from The Morning Extra, getting your weekday morning started from 6 to 10 a.m.
Nancy Pelosi, Rhino, she's got some things to say about Donald Trump when it comes to his position on abortion.
She comes out yesterday and she says he's either stupid or he thinks the rest of us are stupid. She continues to talk, says you can't be a little pro-life. You're either there or you're not. Well, that's like saying you either are for killing babies or you're not. So you're all for killing babies, Nancy Pelosi.
That's right. Nancy Pelosi is trying to engage people into talking about abortion. There's two things we've talked about on this show. Don't talk about abortion. If you have to talk abortion, say, we're going to leave it to the states. You'll decide what your community is going to be its standard. That's it. That's all. That's what President Trump did. They're trying to engage him into something further because there's no national politician that can talk about being pro-life and get elected nationally.
The Morning Extra, 6 to 10 a.m. on Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 4 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffer from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. There are lots of competitors that don't have the credentials that I have. When you go to other clinics, you're not going to see a board-certified physician with the experience that I have. When you come to our clinic, you're going to see me. There's just not one therapy that can solve these complex issues. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. Total Body Therapy of Georgia, 404-777-1911, 404-777-1911, online at stopmyed.com.
This is Dan Watkins with All Four Seasons. We've always been Atlanta's best at installing and servicing garage and entry doors, but you would be surprised at how many windows we've installed as well. So we're proud to announce a new division, All Four Seasons Windows. We now have the ability to make sure every opening in your house is safe, energy efficient, and looks darn good. So give us a call today to schedule your free sales consultation. Find out how you can decrease your energy bills and increase the beauty and value of your home with All Four Seasons garage, entry doors, and windows.
Hey sandwich lovers, today's your lucky day. There's a whole new way to roll for lunch or dinner delight with Nucky's Hoagies in the Roswell Corners Shopping Center. Now open. Nucky's Hoagies in Roswell is family owned and operated by the Sub-Sisters, Stacy and Shannon, whose love language is food and Nucky's Hoagies, their passion. When you bite into a Nucky's Hoagie, you'll taste the difference. The softest hoagie rolls ever, along with hunger-quenching sandwich combinations. Make Nucky's Hoagies in Roswell on Woodstock Road your new favorite spot for lunch or dinner.
Hey, it's Front Office Lowe's. Let's talk about Howard Brothers and Toro mowers. With roots dating back to 1914, Toro was built on a tradition of quality, long-lasting products. Toro takes the same technology that pro contractors rely on and design them into every product they build. They're not just reliable, they're comfortable and give you the beautiful lawn that you want in less time. Visit Howard Brothers Power Equipment today to find your next zero-turn mower from Toro. The grass is always greener when you take care of it with Toro and Howard Brothers.
Get ready for Real Talk on the Janelle King Show, where we tackle kitchen table topics that are banned from family gatherings, but crucial for a strong republic. Tune in every Saturday at 3 p.m. and every Sunday for an encore episode at 9 a.m. And if you can catch us live, great. But if not, no worries. New podcasts drop every Tuesday on the Podcast Park right here on Extra 106.3 or wherever you get your podcasts. Join us for insightful conversations that matter.
Horizon Background Screening is a fully licensed and insured private investigations firm that focuses on litigation support for law firms, criminal defense cases, and background investigations. We are also FCRA compliant and process pre-employment background checks, tenant screening, and background checks for volunteer organizations. Whether your business is a law firm needing anything from scene investigations to witness interviews, or a company that requires pre-employment background checks, we have the experience you need. Visit horizonscreening.com to learn more. That's horizonscreening.com.
Sequoia National Golf Club is located 45 minutes west of Asheville, North Carolina, and nestled among the oak, fir, and flowered valleys in the heart of the Great Smoky Mountains. Owned by the Eastern Band of the Cherokee, this Robert Trent Jones II design offers an idyllic 18-hole journey filled with panoramic vistas on every hole, beautiful landscapes, and a fun mountain golf experience. Enjoy a relaxed lunch or afternoon beverage on the outdoor deck with 180-degree views of the Great Smoky Mountains. The surrounding community also provides golfers a welcoming environment that is rich with Native American culture and exciting year-round attractions. Sequoia National Golf Club is just 4 miles from Harris Cherokee Casino Resort and just a short drive from Atlanta. Experience a fun afternoon of golf with your friends or stick around for an epic stay-and-play weekend. Experience mountain golf at its finest and then go hit the casino floor. Book your tee time at sequoianational.com. That's sequoianational.com. Experience the majesty and beauty of Sequoia National, mountain golf at its finest.
Oh, I could hide neath the wings of the bluebird as she sings.
Little Davy Jones for you.
The 6 o'clock alarm would never ring.
1967, the most popular monkey poll conducted in the music paper Disc and Music. Davy Jones, the most popular monkey. Davy Jones won 63% of the votes. Mickey Dolenz 22%. Peter Tork 8%, and Mike Nesmith 7%.
Mike was my favorite.
I know. But Davy Jones, well, he was Davy Jones and the monkey, so his top thing.
You said monkey poll.
No. And that was Davy Jones and the Monkees. And on this day, our birthday list includes Peter Frampton, 74 years old. Rock legend, Peter Frampton, 74. Yeah, I got to hold on. I got a thing with a thing there. And our history list. Let's see, where was I? Here we go. On this day in 2002, Deep Throat star Linda Lovelace died from injuries she suffered in an April 3rd car crash at the age of 53. Linda Lovelace. Boy, I remember those Deep Throat days. And,
so many puns.
Oh, Lord.
So many puns and so much SEC.
Yeah, can't really do anything.
Nope.
Not anymore. No.
Can't touch it.
By the way, it's 4:37. Our 4 o'clock hour brought to you by our good friends at Atlanta Safe House, home of the Kimmer Safes, by the way. You need a safe, you just don't know it. Learn more at atlantasafehouse.com. They have a showroom in Ackworth, by the way, which is fantastic. Home of the Kimmer Safes. 437, 404-741-1230. What?
I was looking for couches Saturday. I went to a furniture store way up in the mountains, and there wasn't much of a selection of couches, but they had a bunch of great quilts, quilts. And every one of them had a bear about to do something horrible to a campsite.
Really? Well, I guess, you live in the life, you got to be careful when you're up there.
I almost bought one.
Oh, my. Well, anyway. 437, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder with Morning Joe filling in for Flounder, is doing a little charity work today, which is nice. It's good to be there. Let's see. A fat activist says childhood obesity is a myth. Virginia, a little hyphenated, Virginia Soleil Smith is a fat activist.
Literally.
I swear to God, it's even in quotes that she calls herself. She is saying childhood obesity is, by the way, my headphones are driving me nuts. I don't know why it's like it's real tinny or something. I don't know why. I don't like this set of headphones. I like them over there instead. I don't know why. Sorry, I don't mean to complain. Anyway, so she says childhood obesity is not a problem. Anti-fat bias is a problem, and she lets her children eat whatever they want, even against the wishes of her former husband, who broke up with her when he saw her doing one thing with his daughter. We'll get to that in just a second. She's an author of a thing called Fat Talk, advocates dismantling diet culture and anti-fat bias. We don't parent body size, she says. How your child is eating and how much they move their body is really the smallest piece of the puzzle. When you focus on that with the goal of controlling your child's weight, you do a lot of harm. Okay. She started to reevaluate her relationship with food after her daughter was diagnosed with a heart defect, had to eat through a tube. And during the pandemic, this woman says her husband turned to working out, while this woman, Soleil Smith, says she found the value of comfort eating. I deserve softness. I deserve a little tenderness. Everything's chaos. It's nice I can make brownies. She says, doesn't matter what people's health status is. Drug addicts are worthy of dignity, respect, and medical care. Doesn't matter what you caused it. Doctors are supposed to meet you where you are. Well, she told the New York Times that she and her now ex-husband, Dan, had a fight when she caught their daughter eating a whole stick of butter. She says the daughter thought it was cheese and she wanted to intervene and stop her from eating it. If I put butter on the table and the kid wants to eat butter, that's fine with me, she says. They split after 14 years of marriage and 25 years together. She says, I just can't take this anymore. This is unbelievable. And by the way, actual doctors and pediatricians are saying that you can't acknowledge that weight doesn't have an impact on children's health. My God, how many fat kids do you see lately?
Every other week, you see one of these fat advocates die.
Yeah.
There were like 2 within a week a month ago that just died. They're running their mouth and they're doing these videos on TikTok and they think they're cool, and then they're dead.
Yeah. Well, in fact, you're right. Just last week, I think and she was like 24 or 28 or something. I mean, there was a young one who just crocked off of this.
That's abuse. He should take her to court and take the kids away.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I hate to be that kid. You don't think the kid's going to get back at her parents at some point when she gains 400 pounds in 5th grade and whatever, and then he's made mock her? And that kid's in for nothing but trouble. I mean, imagine bringing somebody over to your house to have a little snack and play, volleyball or something in the backyard. Hey, would you like a stick of butter? How about a jar of mayonnaise and a spoon? There you go. Jeez. Bowl of gravy would be good. Gravy and salt, that'd be nice. Take a bowl of gravy
More
and a
people
bag
die
of
of
salt.
heart disease in the U.S. than anything else.
I know.
More than drug addicts.
Well, here we
kills
go.
more people.
441, Kimber, Pete, and Joe for Flounder. Nice to appreciate you having a boy. I want to ask you about, are you dating? I mean, have Amanda set you up with anything going on here?
No, she hasn't set me up yet.
Oh. She's working on it?
We're going to get a new wardrobe.
All right, well, let's do that later. I want to talk about that later because I think it's important.
You might want to start by wearing your baseball cap on the correct way.
Yeah.
This is the only right way.
Yeah, we're in flip-flops, are you?
Are you catching later? Are you a backstop?
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'm filling in for Trav tonight.
441. Taylor Tots. You know what that is? Taylor Tots are Taylor Swift's little children who love her so much, like my granddaughter, Molly, who just turned 10. And for Christmas, I bought Molly 2 Taylor Swift items, because she loves Taylor Swift. And in fact, her mother, Sarah, my daughter, and Molly went to a Taylor Swift concert. And I don't mind telling you, they spent thousands of dollars on the tickets because it was a once-in-a-lifetime thing, and they wanted to do it. And I salute them, because how many mommy-daughter things do you get to do that would be lasting memories literally forever? And so I'm all in favor of it. And they can afford, they both work, the parents work, and they're doing great. So I say, do it. Absolutely do it. That kind of attitude, by the way, is the reason I don't have any money anymore. If I felt like doing something, by God, I did it. I bought a girl a sheared beaver and fox jacket once because she looked pretty in it.
A what?
Yeah. Sheared beaver and fox coat jacket.
Once again, I'm just going to let that lie there. I'm not going to touch
Well, she looked so good, and I said, I'll take it. Taylor Tots. And by the way, some moms are getting a little nervous about this. In fact, I think Morning Joe found us a song coming off of this double album called the Taylor Tots. Their double album is called The Tortured Poets Department. She has 7 songs on the double album that come with a warning label. Actually, a warning label on the records. And people are saying, I feel bad for the Taylor Tots, the little kids that love her, because parents are not going to deem this album appropriate. The album's not suitable for kids, says one girl. It's called Tortured Poets, but who thought it would be a kid-oriented album? I'm okay with the curse words, but there's a lot of self-harm, violence, and death talk. I'm not feeling comfy with it this second. I'm going to sleep on it, give a few more listens. Apparently, the nickname given to young fans be listening sparks debate on Facebook. Parents are going to deem it inappropriate. The lyrics in, kids listen to her older stuff. There's a clean version of the album, but they're talking about tortured poets. and self-harm, violence, death talk that say I'm not very comfortable with that. Anyway, here's one of the, what's the name of the song? Do you have the song there, Morning Show Joe?
It's called Thank You, Amy.
And is this one of the ones that says it's kind of blocked for parents or warning for parents?
Yeah, it's got an F-bomb in it. I blocked it out.
Okay, well, here is Taylor Swift for Taylor Tots issues on bad language and thoughts.
You aim me to the night sky as the blood was gushing, but I can't forget the way you made me heal. I don't think you've changed much, and so I changed your name and any real defining clues. And one day your kid comes home singing a song that only us two is gonna know is about you. 'Cause all that time you were throwing punches, it was all for nothing.
I don't know what she's saying. She's attacking Kim Kardashian. Does she do nothing but use her song and her talent to attack other people and get revenge on people?
Yeah.
Boyfriends,
ex-boyfriends, yeah.
There's
She's still
something
doing that.
psychotic about that.
And by the way, I like the song. I love her voice. I mean, I really like her music. I like to say, I really do.
It's just bland.
Yeah. Well, I maybe, but I like bland. I mean, whatever this is, I like her voice.
You like this?
I like her voice, and I like the harmony, and I like harmony. I like sweet music harmony. I really do.
She's skinny as a rail.
Yeah. Oh, I don't like her as a human. I mean, oh my God. Oh, you ever seen the feet on her? Oh, Jesus. Oh God. I may never eat again.
Looks like one of those big blue birds.
Oh God!
The blue-footed booby. That's what. That's what she looks like. But seriously, you have that much talent. You should be above it at that point.
I know.
And she's using it to venal attacks on.
Well, once again, it's an example of what was she, 13 when she became an international star? I mean, young kids in stardom and stuff.
She's 30 now.
I know, she's 34 years old. So I'm just saying.
Grow up.
Okay.
She's a billionaire tortured poet.
Yeah.
Cry me a river.
Exactly. But, I mean, honestly, here we go.
Do you hear Eddie Vedder attacking, harlots like Kim Kardashian? No.
Yeah, I know.
He's moved on.
All right, 4:46. Kara Peden, Flounders out, and Morning Show Joe's, and then a Holy Crap of Sports coming up in the next hour. And also more of Bill Maher. In case you missed, we'll play some more of that coming back next hour, too. All right, here we go. 4:46. Look out. The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's the camera. How's it going? Here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
But I'm watching the TV last night, and the reporter kept talking about gun violence. You hear that all the time. Gun violence. A question. When somebody gets into a wreck and somebody dies, did they die from car violence? No. They died because the driver of a car took an action that resulted in their death.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
True Prep on Cobb Parkway is your one-stop shop for emergency preparedness supplies, including freeze-dried food, water filtration, first aid, and more. They also have a large selection of firearms, including a huge selection of AR-15s, firearm accessories, and ammo at the lowest prices around. They are locally owned and operated. You can visit their store in Marietta on Cobb Parkway or online at trueprep.com. That's TRUprep.com. Prepare today for a worry-free tomorrow at True Prep.
Central Heating and Air Conditioning wants you to know the start of the new season is the perfect time to ensure your home's comfort. Don't wait like most people do to have your HVAC system serviced. Your home should have maintenance twice a year. Maintenance helps keep your system running at peak efficiency and extends the life of your equipment. So turn to Atlanta's Carrier experts for your system's maintenance. With Central, you get Carrier products, Carrier warranty, and Carrier peace of mind. It's allergy season, and Central Heating and Air can fix what ails your house and possibly your family with home ventilation and air quality products. Central has packages designed around health using variable speed, fresh air ventilation, air cleaners, air purifiers, dehumidifiers, and more. Central Heating and Air is one of the few second-generation, locally owned and operated HVAC companies in Atlanta. With Central, you're not just a number, you're a member of the family. It's been that way since 1947, and they've serviced over 100,000 customers right here in Atlanta. Call 770-GET-HEAT or go to centralheat.com.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Get ready for unfiltered conversations on The Janelle King Show, where we tackle the topics that you won't hear at your family gatherings, but they're absolutely crucial for a strong republic. Don't miss us live every Saturday at 3 p.m. and every Sunday at 9 a.m. right here on Extra 106.3. But if you can't tune in, that's okay. You can catch new episodes every Tuesday on the Podcast Park or wherever you prefer to get your podcasts. Join us for these discussions, and I can't wait to meet you there.
Neil Borch here. Maybe you've already taken the steps to improve your health, maybe save your life. You're using a CPAP for your sleep apnea. I've been using one for well over 20 years. So right now I'm here to tell you about a source for CPAPs and CPAP supplies here in the Atlanta area. CPAPs, etc. They're in Alpharetta. They have whatever you need. Roddy and Sharon are your CPAP experts, and they'll ship nationwide. More information, CPAPs.com.
You shouldn't need a degree in finance to choose a checking account. That's why we made Truist One Checking. No trade-offs, no compromise, no hassle. Just the stuff you want from a bank that cares. And that means no overdraft fees, lots of practical perks, and automatic upgrades. Truist One Checking. One simple choice. Visit Truist.com/one. Truist.com/ONE. Truist Bank, member FDIC.
When you think of the great outdoors, do you ever think about your own backyard? Hi, this is Candace from Exovations, and have I got a tip for you. We turn backyards into great outdoor living areas. Imagine your home with a new, beautiful, and durable composite deck. Maybe with a relaxing screen porch, or maybe your family would enjoy a stone patio with a pergola to stargaze, or a covered open-air porch with a stunning tongue and groove ceiling. Add an outdoor fireplace, kitchen, or bar area for even more function and beauty. We can design and install your greatest outdoor adventure. And with Exovations, you'll get your project delivered on time, on budget, and without all that stress you usually hear about in construction. Let's make your outdoors great again. Schedule your free quote today at exovations.com. That's EXOVATIONS.com.
Wait a minute. I'm just trying to get my news story here for the radio station. That's God almighty. All right, here we go. Let's try. It's like a stand by. Here we go.
Wild thing, think I love you.
That's right.
But I want to know for sure.
Yeah, 1966. Reg Presley. Originally was related to, no, what's his, oh, here we go. Reg Presley, Wild Thing, became a major influence on garage rock and punk rock. Wild Thing by the Trogs, originally called the Troglodytes, released in Britain on both Atco and Fontana labels, went to number 1. Reg Presley, Wild Thing, major influence, garage rock, they called it, 1966. And of course, you'll remember it was released in America as the theme song for pitcher Charlie Sheen's character in Major League, and was covered by the LA punk band called X. 1966, Wild Thing and the Trogs. Yeah, birthday list includes Machine Gun Kelly, a big hit. Bad Things with Camila Cabello. Mm-hmm. I like her. That song about Cuba or whatever, Atlanta, Cuba or whatever it is.
Cute.
Take me down to Cuba, but they took me down to Atlanta and Havana. Take me to Havana, but they took me to Atlanta. That's a great song. Camila Cabello, whatever her name is. And he's 34. Machine Gun Kelly did that with her. I didn't know that. I don't know if he did that one with her, but he did something with her. I don't know. Get me out of here. Okay, 4:52. I know, it's good. It's good. Flounders Funny coming up, or Joe's Joke. I guess we could call it that. I love this headline. This is concerning the Trump trial. Here's the headline. Pecker cheery in brief stint on the stand.
Pecker.
I barely even knew her. Pecker cheery in brief stint on the stand. Wearing a dark gray suit, yellow tie, and with a distinctive slicked back silver hair and mustache, David Pecker entered the courtroom side door.
As a side, Your Honor?
A former National Enquirer publisher, David Pecker, seemed to be having a good time in his 20 minutes on the stand. Got some high-pitched laughs about questions. Let's see. Haven't gotten the meetings with Trump and Michael Cohen at the heart of the case. He testified he got a subpoena ordering him to be here, but he's having a good time. Court break tomorrow until tomorrow morning. The gag order is still in place, but they left early because one of the jurors had a toothache, and also one of the other jurors wants to get off the trial case, apparently, although we haven't heard an update. One of the jurors met with the judge this morning and was apparently saying, I don't like what's going on here because people know who I am, and I'm afraid I'll be outed, and I don't want to go through all this. Well, it's a little late for that.
Yep.
Anyway, so now we haven't heard that a juror's been released, so I assume, therefore, they said, no, stick it out or whatever. I don't know, but again, it was an issue, and we don't know the result of it.
Wouldn't you change your name if your name was Pecker?
Well, yes.
Why do people not change your name?
I don't know. Can you imagine the first names of your siblings or your children?
I mean, my last name's Virgin, so...
Virgin?
Yeah.
Your name's Joe Virgin?
Yeah, Virgin.
Well, there's Virgin Airlines.
Yeah.
That's not...
It's not Pecker.
Yeah, it's different.
No.
It's
different. Actually the farthest thing from Pecker that can be, actually, is a Virgin.
Hard to believe. 454. By the way, we're going to do a Joe's Jokes here shortly, in a couple of minutes. We also have Pete's Tweets, and we have an AI thing, too. And, in fact, the Pete's Tweets, I think we have a James Wood link coming up there, too. No?
No.
Oh, we don't? I thought you had a James Woods tweet link.
I think I lost it.
Oh, my God. Well, is that the one with the names of the seven different, Flounder sent that us, I think.
That's right. Flounder sent it, so I will.
So you got it in there somewhere.
Yeah, I do have it.
Anyway, that's just a tease. Now, let me ask you this. I saw this story, and again, this always amazes me. Here, let me read the first line. Jailer fired, arrested in inmate sex case. A DeKalb County Sheriff's deputy assigned to the jail was fired from her position and arrested after she was accused of having an inappropriate relationship with an inmate. Joanne Marks, 26 of Decatur, first-degree sexual contact, crossing guard lines with contraband, violation of oath by a public officer. 2 different occasions, sexual contact. I mean, my God, why would a female jailer feel the need to have sex with a convict in prison? I mean, seriously,
it's the ultimate bad boy.
I mean, I can see. Okay, if you're in a women's prison and all the guards are men, I can see where some woman would say, hey, how'd you like a little, I can see where there would be kind of a thing where a woman would be wanting something from a male guard in return for privileges or whatever, but a female guard.
It's a bad boy. I can change him.
I mean, seriously. Well, I can see, a female inmate trying to get special privileges by freakalakalakin with a guard. I can see it. But a female guard? What's in it for her other than being a tramp? She needs sex that bad she can't get sex other than a convict, a man in jail?
Have you seen some of these women?
Well, I don't know.
And he's desperate.
But again, I mean, I just don't understand any of it.
The bunkmate gets a little old after a while.
God. Anyway, well, I don't know.
Any port in a storm.
Anything, I suppose. Anyway, coming up, the Beatles and how much they hated each other at the end there.
Well, we've heard that song.
Well, there's new stuff now. It's kind of we'll spend a couple of minutes on it later on, not right now. Right. 4:57. How about a little Joe's Jokes? Oh, here we go. What do you got there, Joe?
You ever done that? Have you ever mixed up a fat person and a pregnant person? It's embarrassing, isn't it? Especially if it's a fella. I had a fat girl come up to me recently after a gig. Well, I say a fat girl. She was either fat or 18 months pregnant. She was big. Bubbly, you might say. Not with an effervescent personality that filled a room. No, shaped like a bubble. She was a comfort eater. I don't mean she was eating for emotional comfort. She was eating till she was comfortable to sit on. She wasn't a size 0, she was a shape 0. Anyway, she came up to me after that. Well, she pretty much surrounded me. And she said, you're not meant to use the term fat. I said, you're not meant to eat cake for breakfast. You're not meant to deep fry Mars bars. And gravy isn't an energy drink. And if I can't say fat, because I wasn't using fat in a judgmental way, I was just purely being descriptive on stage, I was using the word fat. Apparently I can't use the word fat now. If I can't say fat, what term does she prefer? Chunky monkey wobble slob? Fatty boom batty? Or blubbernaut? And if you're offended by any of those terms, how about a salad?
And is that Ricky?
No, Jimmy Carr.
That was Jimmy Carr.
Jimmy Carr. Okay, I don't know Jimmy Carr.
He's big in Britain. He does game shows and stuff. He's like an MC.
Is he the guy who shows up at public events and just starts doing interviews or something? Who's that
the
guy?
Greeter.
He's
funnier than hell.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, approaching the concourse, and
you're wearing that shoulders back, head up, like you own the place.
You look wonderful, man. That's a great pair of shoes. Where'd you get those? It's just describing people going by.
It's on the top of his head.
Hysterical. He's a man on the street MC. He's just describing people walking by.
You're a marvelous example of manhood.
And it's a funny bit. And I guess it's a show. Is it a show?
He's a comedian. Yeah. And he just does it on the side. Yeah.
Oh, man. I mean, it's a very funny guy. 404-741-1230. 741-1230. Oh, quick thing. I almost hit a deer again over the weekend.
Don't do that.
Broad day, noon on Freemanville Road and Alpharetta and Milton and up in the, I couldn't believe it. 45 mile an hour speed limit. And I come around a corner, double solid line. So, you know, it's all woodsy and stuff. And the damn deer had just finished crossing the road and I missed him by 2 feet. It was a girl. And I looked for another one. I didn't see a second one, which is she might have been the second one.
A doe?
A doe.
A deer?
A deer, a female deer, a ray of drop of sun.
Me. A name.
By the way, if you go, you should go to Flash Mob of Do Re Mi. I'm telling you, it's one of the greatest things you'll ever see for 4 minutes. 5 o'clock coming up with a Kimmer Pete and Joe.
That's what she said.
Thank you.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. This hour is presented by Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watches.
Former President Trump says he should be campaigning. Lisa Brady, Fox News. His reaction after opening statements at a criminal trial keeping him in court in New York.
This is a Biden witch hunt to keep me off the campaign trail. So far, it's not working because my poll numbers are higher than they've ever been because the public understands that it's a witch hunt.
Prosecutors say he falsified business records to cover up hush money payments ahead of the 2016 election. Tents are back at Columbia University, where classes were held remotely today, days after New York City police were called in, arresting anti-Israel protesters and clearing the encampment. More tent protests popping up at other universities. At Yale University, more than 40 arrests after hundreds of protesters removed from their makeshift encampment began blocking streets. President Biden criticizing anti-Semitic chants and threats.
Asked by reporters about protests at Columbia University that have included harassment of Jewish students, President Biden said,
I condemn the anti-Semitic protests. That's why I've set up a program to deal with that. I also condemn those who don't understand what's going on with the Palestinians.
Last year, the Biden administration released a first-of-its-kind national strategy to counter anti-Semitism.
Fox's Jared Halpern. The president released a statement ahead of the Passover holiday calling blatant anti-Semitism reprehensible and dangerous. The president marking Earth Day at a national park in Virginia.
On this day 54 years ago, with literally toxic rivers burning, air filled with pollution, millions of Americans from every age and background rallied together to stand for our environment and for future generations.
He's expanding the Climate Corps, a federal program to train young Americans for clean energy jobs, also announcing $7 billion in grants for residential solar projects. America is listening to Fox News.
You know, since 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation has been committed to supporting our nation's first responders and veterans. They support America's heroes like U.S. Army Major Jonathan Turnbull. Now, Major Turnbull sustained devastating injuries at the hands of an ISIS suicide bomber. Tunnel to Towers gave him a specially adapted smart home designed for his needs. Join Tunnel to Towers. They're hoping all of us will donate $11 a month so this great work continues. Their website, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org.
What should we do with the broke propeller? What should we do with the broke propeller? Don't look at me, I wasn't driving. Thank you, you're not helping. I don't even know why you bought this boat. You told me that you loved this boat. That was before you wrecked the boat. Well, now you've made it awkward.
Accidents don't just happen in sea shanties, so Progressive Boat Insurance has you covered. Take as little as 4 minutes to see what you can save at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Covered subject to policy terms and not available for all boats or in all situations.
Rough.
Hey,
Don't be scared. It's only me. It's only the Giver with Pete Davis, sidekick producer and sports raconteur extraordinaire, coming up shortly. And the mechanical mangler Flounder, normally at the controls, replaced for one day only, temporarily for a special charity event for his sweet girl, Miss Veronica. It's Morning Show Joe, ladies and gentlemen. And what a fine job you've done today, sir. And seriously, printing up all the stuff, getting all the sound, it's not an easy job. And I'll bet you have to do a lot more for my stupid show with us than you do for the morning team. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but they don't bring me candy.
No, and I did bring Joe candy. I did several different kinds of candy.
You don't bring me flowers.
That must be the truth case
anymore.
It's a 504. Here's a number, 404-741-1230. 741-1230. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. It's good to have you aboard. Lots of things going on. Holy crap, it's sports. We got Trump stuff. We got trial stuff. And in fact, if Donald Trump takes the stand, I still can't believe we have not seen a written report from journalists of the opening statements for the two sides in the Trump case. I mean, that's the most. I want to hear. Is he calling him a racist? Is he saying? I can't believe it.
You're expecting Law and Order, and I don't think they do that much.
Yes, I don't. It's just that's the most important. I mean, that sets everything
on TV.
I know. Well, maybe, but I've been in court. I've seen opening statements.
You've been around.
They're real. Yeah, I've been around. Anyway, and Judge Idiot Face Mershon says that if Donald Trump takes the stand, then they can bring up all of his other rulings and other cases, cross-examined on the verdict of the civil fraud case with Letitia James, ask about violations of his gag order, ask about the Jean Carroll verdict in federal court, where said he defamed her and then made him pay $83 million. What a joke. I mean, everything about this is just freaking hideous. And apparently, if he takes the stand, the judges ruled that the prosecutor will not be allowed to play the audio of the Access Hollywood tape where Donald Trump is talking about women's various parts with that guy. But the judge apparently said if he is brought to the stand, if he testifies in his own defense, that it would be okay to present the transcript of what he said with the guy. Well, I mean, it's just out to get anything they do to get. In fact, John, real quickly, and then you're going to hear something from Bill Maher if you haven't heard it before. Jonathan Turley, if you've watched any Fox News, you've probably seen him. He's a Fox contributor, legal expert, very well respected. He says he can't believe it. Quote, what is clear is in this case, Trump is right. I mean, this is an embarrassment. The fact that we're actually talking about this case being presented in a New York courtroom leaves me in utter disbelief. The arguments today did, in fact, capture all the problems here. You had this misdemeanor under state law. See, that's what the opening lawyer said. This is not a case because it's a misdemeanor and they made it into a felony. Anyway, he says you had this misdemeanor under state law. It had run out, and this is going back to relating it to the 2016 election. They zapped it back into life by alleging that there was a campaign finance violation under the federal laws that do not exist. I mean, it's a man. And again, they had to go back and pass state laws to go get Donald Trump specifically because the statute of limitations had expired in some of these cases. So they passed a law saying, oh, well, let's bring it back again for one reason only, Donald Trump.
Yep.
God, he said the case should never have been brought. If it were, there was no reason to have it right before the election. It's becoming the split-screen election between Trump and different courtrooms. It brings something that bothers a lot of Americans. People don't even like Trump. This is the weaponization of the criminal legal system. We should all be able to condemn it. I mean, think about it. Appalling. And in fact, let's do a little Bill Maher here. This is incredible. We did this earlier today, and it's too long to play the whole thing, but we'll play a whole bunch of chunk of this segment. Bill Maher, serious leftist, serious liberal, was doing his show, and he was talking about the effect of this whole gender and tranny thing on children. And I've seen some of those movies. I think I don't know whether it's VH1 or somebody has documentaries of kids growing up in child stars and how they have to work all the time and they're abused and stuff like that. So he's talking about a documentary about this very thing. Here's Bill Maher trying to put things on the record that even liberals really should pay more attention to.
Have you all been watching the Max documentary called Quiet on Set, The Dark Side of Kids TV? OMG. Nickelodeon, it wasn't a studio, it was Neverland Ranch with craft services. It is just scene after scene, clip after clip of the child stars of their day being subjected to obviously inappropriate, highly sexualized degradation, and quite a few pickles going through glory holes. I was grossed out, and I've gone camping with John Waters. So I don't know if this documentary is the talk of your town, but it is out here because it didn't just expose a dangerous workplace. It also exposed hypocrisy. Because it must be pointed out that when the evil governor of Florida was saying the exact same thing about kids and creepy stuff at Disney that liberals now find intolerable at Nickelodeon, he was dismissed as a hick and a bigot. But why would a kids' content factory like Disney be all that different than the one at Nickelodeon? A 2014 CNN report discovered that at least 35 Disney employees had been arrested for sex crimes against children, and in 2021, Disney child star Allison Stoner confessed she only narrowly survived the toddler-to-train wreck pipeline. The next year, child star Cole Sprouse told the New York Times that young actresses at the Disney Channel were heavily sexualized from an early age. You know, Willie Sutton said he robbed banks because that's where the money is. And the reason we find pedophiles in the Boy Scouts and the Rectory and kids' TV is that's where the kids are. DeSantis wasn't wrong, but we're so tribal now, the left will overlook child if the guy from the wrong party calls it out. Sure, Nickelodeon messed up Amanda Bynes, but the Mickey Mouse Club was where Britney Spears got her start, and she's perfectly fine. And get this, after Brian Peck, who was one of the lead creeps at Nickelodeon, served 16 months in prison for the molesting he did there, Disney hired him, naturally, to work on a children's series. Oh, for pedophiles in Hollywood, it's a small world after all. And not just Hollywood. There are Instagram moms these days who are practically OnlyFansing their itty-bitty beauty queen daughters by having them wear skimpy bikinis and eat bananas to build social media stardom. They're called sharenters, a hybrid of sharing and parent. I call them pimps, a hybrid of pimp and And people who believe in social justice have agreed this is wrong and this is bad, and exposing kids to an adult world of lurid costumes and garish makeup borders on abuse. Now, hurry up and get in the car. We're late for Drag Queen Story Hour. Not that there's anything wrong with being a drag queen, but maybe it's time to admit that sometimes Drag Queen Story Hour is more for the queen than the kids. Sure, kids love a clown, but does the clown have to have
boobs? Almost.
When I see a 5-year-old tipping at a bar under a sign that says it's not going to lick itself, do I have to pretend that's cool in order to keep my liberal ID card? Sorry, I can't do that. If you want kids to be more tolerant, why not have handicapped people read them stories? Kids are more likely to encounter disabled people than drag queens in life. Geez, can't we just go back to the good old days when kids were read simple stories with simple morals like, if you're a lonely single man, just make a boy out of wood.
Bill Maher speaking.
I've said it before, wokeness is not an extension of liberalism anymore. It's more often taking something so far that it becomes the opposite. Teaching kids not to hate or judge those who are different, great. Proud we got there, all for that. But at a certain point, inclusion becomes promotion. And contrary to current progressive dogma, children aren't miniature adults wise beyond their years. They're morons.
That to me, you can cut it there if you want to. That to me, it says everything. Children are not miniature adults wise beyond their years. Mm-hmm. I mean, doesn't that really kind of do everything? In fact, helicopter parents, and then all of a sudden now it's, raise them to be grown-ups when they're 7 or 8 or going to tranny stuff. I mean, it's just, they're not miniature adults.
And he makes a good point. He says he doesn't have kids. And he goes, why do I seem more upset about this than parents?
Yeah. Endlessly talking about gender to 6-year-olds isn't just inappropriate. It's what the law would call entrapment, which means enticing people into doing something they would not ordinarily do. Entrapment. 6-year-old kids endlessly talking about their genders and changing and stuff like that. I mean, well, what a great point. Anyway, Holy Crap of Sports coming up 5:13. Kimber Pete Flounder, morning show for Flounder, and Flounder's Funnies, and also Pete's Tweets, and AI. Oh, we got so much. It's unbelievable.
Too much.
Oh, we got too much. We have to stay late. The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's the Kimmer. How's it going? Here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
But I'm watching the TV last night, and the reporter kept talking about gun violence. You hear that all the time. Gun violence. A question. When somebody gets into a wreck and somebody dies, did they die from car violence? No. They died because the driver of a car took an action that resulted in their death.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
Convenience is defined as the state of being able to proceed with something with little effort or difficulty. Well, at RBM of Atlanta, we embody this philosophy. Meet our Mercedes-Benz pickup and delivery service. It gives you back time and money. Does your Mercedes-Benz need service? If so, we'll pick up your vehicle that's requiring service from your home or office and bring it back to our dealership for the required service. With over 100 appointments available every weekday, over 50 appointments on Saturdays, and more than 200 courtesy vehicles in our fleet, we're here to serve. We'll work around your schedule. We're here to save you time, energy, and money. RBM of Atlanta is a J.D. Power 2023 Diamond Dealer of Excellence for the customer sales experience and Georgia's only 9-time Mercedes-Benz Best of the Best winner. We're proud to be Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964. Pickup and delivery service restrictions do apply. Ask your service coordinator or service advisor for details.
Introducing Sonder Health Plans, your trusted local partner for Medicare Advantage in Georgia. Only in Georgia. With Sonder, you'll get comprehensive coverage that's tailored to your needs. They offer $0 primary care visits, $0 premiums, and access to a wide network of Georgia healthcare providers. Visit SonderHealthPlans.com now to learn more about their valued-based care that won't break the bank. Or call 888-428-4440. Sonder Health Plans, your doctors, your neighbors, your friends.
Looking for bold discussions on vital issues? Tune in to The Janelle King Show every Saturday at 3 p.m. with an encore episode every Sunday at 9 a.m. right here on Extra 106.3, where we dive into kitchen table topics that are essential for a strong republic. Don't miss an episode, but if you do, it's all good because we have new podcasts that drop every Tuesday on the Podcast Park or wherever you get your podcasts. Don't miss out on these thought-provoking conversations.
The future of business in Georgia is bright, and Georgia Power is a driving force behind its progress and innovation. From the buzzing coffee shops that wake us up each morning, the restaurants that feed us, the gyms where we work out, to the bustling warehouses crafting our tomorrow, and the people that make it all happen. Georgia Power is the lifeblood of our state's success story. Together, we're shining a spotlight on the businesses that will keep our communities thriving. Sports venues like Georgia Tech's Bobby Dodd Stadium and Lake Point Sports are being upgraded to better serve the huge demand for sports in the state. And all those upgrades need power. And let's not forget the industries who've moved here and are shaping our future. From cutting-edge tech startups to innovative manufacturers, Georgia Power is fueling their growth every step of the way. So let's celebrate the unsung heroes of our economy, the local businesses powered by Georgia Power. Tune in all year long to discover the stories behind the energy powering the future of Georgia.
The Atlanta Braves invite fans to come experience the brand new Blue Moon Beer Garden at Truist Park, located in right field, offering the largest variety of Molson Coors beer options and unique food pairings. Plus, there's a special ticket offer for the new space for any weekday game during the regular season. Tickets are only $30 and include a grandstand reserved game ticket and $15 added value to use toward food or beverage. Lock in your seats now for Blue Moon weekdays at Braves.com/Blue Moon. Atlanta Braves baseball. We are Braves country.
What are your plans for your business this year? Hey, it's Tug. Do you want to expand and grow? Aren't you exhausted by going to lenders, building a relationship, and a week later, you got a new person to deal with? You have to start all over again? You don't have that with First Liberty Building and Loan. The Frost family has been helping businesses grow since the 90s, and they want to know you. Unlike big banks, they want to partner with you. The Frost family knows the patterns. They know the ebbs and flows. They know business. Get to know them at FirstLibertyGA.com. Building a building, buying a franchise, expanding. Reach out to them. Spend 10 minutes with them. See if you're a fit for them and if they're a fit for you. You do that at FirstLibertyGA.com. And by the way, if you're a young banker and want to work with a team that is faith-friendly and has a culture of excellence, First Liberty might be a good match. Reach out to them today. First Liberty Building and Loan. FirstLibertyGA.com. That's FirstLibertyGA.com.
Imagine having all the money you need for retirement, all the income, every month, guaranteed. That's Secure Future Investor, an indexed annuity tied to growth in the stock market, but without any risk of loss ever. It's guaranteed money for life income, no matter how long you live. Call 888-509-2228. 888-509-2228. Sponsored by GP Agency, Inc., Raleigh, North Carolina. Licensed in all states. Performance may vary. Consult with your financial professional before making an investment decision.
We just watched a liberal report. The liberal media is now mad because the Donald Trump trial is taking away all their time to talk about how wonderful President Joe White Trash is. You're the ones who caused it, you idiots. Oh, my God. Wait a minute, 519. Holy crap, it's sports with Pete Davis.
After 15 seasons, 4 Pro Bowls, a Most Valuable Player award, Matt Ryan has officially retired as a Falcon today.
Oh, I'll be darned. Really?
He did very classy. He did it in a classy way. Says he's honored to retire as a Falcon. He missed, how many games do you think he missed playing for the Atlanta Falcons?
Over how? I forgot how many years.
15 years.
15 years? Oh, you just said that. I'm sorry. 4. 18.
Lower.
Oh, no, really?
3.
Oh, my God. I was joking about 4 in 15 years.
Yeah, that's pretty good right
Wow.
there. Set almost every passing record the Falcons have. Is he a Hall of Famer?
Probably not.
Really?
I don't know.
Top
I don't
10
know.
in yards? Is he top 10 in touchdowns?
Just for stats.
Well, again, I guess I just don't know.
Maybe.
Frankly, I've always not thought of him as a Hall of Famer just because the Falcons aren't a Hall of Fame football team. And I think it's just the bias I have against this stupid franchise doing dumb things.
If he had won that one Super Bowl.
23-3, come on, it's just, but again, if the stats do it, then put him in. Frankly, everybody,
they're all getting in now.
They're all getting in. A baseball Hall of Fame, dear God.
Well, baseball is a little more restrictive than NFL is.
Yeah, but still, it's getting political. I don't know. He's a great guy, and I salute him, and I hope he's had a wonderful life the rest of his life.
He'll get in. Yeah. I think he'll get in.
He's not first ballot.
No, he's not.
But he'll get in there.
I hope he does.
Braves open up a series against the Marlins tonight in Truist Park. Look for yours truly. If you manage to spot me, you will receive a hearty handshake and a fare thee well.
You know what I should have brought in?
What did you? No,
I did. If you had told me you were going to the game, no, I would have brought you in a Kimmer fan. My picture of my face on a fan that we gave to the Braves fans like 20 years ago.
Come up and talk to me.
And to wave their faces of the Kimmer Show fan club.
I want people to like me, Kimmer. I don't want.
Oh, I misunderstood. I wanted you to be left alone.
Bryce Elder called up from Gwinnett to start for Atlanta. Lefty Carl Weathers from Miami. Scratch that.
Carl Weathers.
Carl's dead. It's Ryan Weathers, who is 2-1 with an ERA under 3. Carl's ERA is under everything these days. Darno, Duvall, and Fletcher, that law firm, is in the lineup tonight. So that's good news. Last night, the Braves jumped out to a 3-0 lead when Marcell Ozuna did this.
2-0, and he hits one high in the air towards deep right center. Spreading back to Veras, to the wall, and it ain't sticking around. It's a 3-run home run. Ozuna leading the demolition squad tonight with a 3-run bomb in the first inning.
Ben Ingram.
And it is 3-0 Braves on his 9th homer of the year. RBIs 25, 26, and 27. It's not even May yet.
680 the fan. But the Rangers came back and salvaged one game of the 3-game set at Truist Park. They won 6-4, ended the Bravos' 6-game winning streak. Ozuna leads Major League Baseball with 9 home runs and 27 RBIs.
Wow.
He joins Chipper Jones back in 98 and Dale Murphy in 85, the only Braves players to do these numbers in the team's first 20 games since RBIs became an official stat back in 1920. Unbelievable.
Wow, good for him.
Darius Vines was sent down to AAA after last night's loss. And Blooper, the Braves mascot, who is a great follow on Twitter, by the way, posted a pic from Saturday night's game claiming that hotter than Georgia asphalt British actress Florence Pugh was at the game, sucking down Miller Lights, wearing Braves gear, thoroughly enjoying Travis Darno's exploits.
Yeah, well, bring her over.
If this is true, they need to put out an alert in case she ever comes back so the rest of us have time to get there.
For pictures anywhere.
She can act, and she's just dropped dead.
What's her name again?
Florence Pugh.
Pugh, yes, that's right.
Yeah. Anyway, Ozzy Albies could be back by Friday. They're saying. So that's lovely news. On this day, April 22nd, 1966, the Braves won their first game in Atlanta. They beat the Mets, of course, 8-4. And speaking of those Mets, Nate Meeker has put together a rather amusing take on being a Mets fan these days.
Think your life can't get more depressing? Come to a New York Mets game.
The team is only good when half the players are on cocaine.
For $70, you can sit right behind home plate. And for an extra $10, you can get in it back.
Tickets are so cheap here, you can buy a whole section for the price of a chai latte.
Watching the Mets is like watching the movie Moneyball, but in reverse.
The third-string catcher is currently selling hot dogs at the stands.
Looking for a quiet place to lay low after a hit-and-run accident? Why not try the left field stands?
The team is so injury-prone, even Mr. Met tore his ACL during the seventh-inning stretch.
Originally, the stadium was just a billboard. Then they decided to add the baseball field.
Fun fact, Goya owns 20% of the franchise. There's more people in line for Shake Shack than are actually watching the game.
Love Chinese food and Italian desserts? Help yourself to the artery-clogging rainbow cookie egg roll.
The planes fly so low here, the left field gate doubles as a terminal at LaGuardia Airport.
And when you're leaving the game, you can buy back the tires that were stolen off your car.
That tire dump across the street. Unbelievable. On this date, 2008, John Smoltz became the 16th pitcher to do what?
John Smoltz to do what? The 16th pitcher to do opening day no-hitter.
Opening day on April 22nd.
First no-hitter of the year.
He struck out 3,000 batters.
Oh, in one game? That's unbelievable.
It was incredible. But it was the Padres. So
well, there you go.
John Sterling retired after 36 years of calling Yankees games. So what do you think they gave him after that long and hard work?
The Yankees win. They gave him an audio recording of his hideous call.
A new Bentley, maybe?
Sure. A Rolls or a Bentley.
Trip around the world?
Helicopter, something special. Yeah.
John Sterling, for all his decades of service.
Oh, decades.
Got a TV.
A TV?
Got an 83-inch TV.
Oh, well.
That's a big one.
Got the big one.
So Yankees fans were quick to comment about this.
I'll bet they were.
On Twitter, the Yankees went to Best Buy for John Sterling's retirement gift, and their fans really think they're keeping Juan Soto? And they 100% forgot a gift and found this in a back room somewhere in the stadium.
Somebody left it behind.
It's like some George Costanza would do. Like, go get him a TV, go get him a present. Speaking of the Yankees, manager Aaron Boone thrown out of the game today against the A's for yelling at the home plate umpire. Except the camera was on Boone's face the entire time, and all he was doing was chewing his gum. Some fan in the stands behind the dugout did the dirty deed, and they have him on camera doing it. Unless Aaron Boone is the best ventriloquist ever. By the way, Yankees ended up getting shut out 2-0, so it was a bad day all around. Scotty Scheffler, officially the Thanos of golf. He's inevitable. Scheffler was running on emotional fumes fresh off that victory at Augusta National. It didn't matter. He didn't miss a shot. He gave little hope to those chasing him. He walked away from Harbor Town out in Hilton Head this morning with another victory, extending his dominance not seen since the peak years of Tiger back in 2007. Says, I didn't just show up here to have some sort of ceremony and have people tell me congrats. I came here with a purpose. Polished off a 3-under 68 for a 3-shot victory. Had a 5-shot lead with 3 holes to play when the darkness came and the storms and all that stuff. So, I mean, the man's like amazing. A machine.
It reminds me of Johnny Miller in the early 70s. He was just on fire.
But Johnny got crowds because Johnny was extravagant.
Yeah.
He,
showy blonde. He was a big personality. And
Scotty Scheffler is Pete Sampras.
Yeah, and he's very religious and quiet. And
the ratings are going down because of it. The Jets have finally traded quarterback Zach Wilson and a 7th-round pick to the Broncos for a 6th-round pick.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's bad. And Roman Gabriel. Somewhere I got his football card. Yeah, the LA Rams. I got his card. The number 2 draft pick of the Rams back in '62 has passed away. Still holds the Rams record, 154 touchdown passes. Still has that record.
Really?
That's amazing. He's the first. Where was he from? Or he was his family, his heritage. I did not know this. He's Filipino American. Roman
I
Gabriel.
had no idea.
I did not know that either. Was the league MVP back in '69. He was 83 years old, died peacefully at home. He played at NC State, two-time Player of the Year in the ACC, College Football Hall of Famer back in '89. He was 6'5", 235 pounds.
That's
in
why
that era.
I can't believe he was a Filipino background. I remember him being a big, giant guy.
Yeah.
And when you said he was Filipino family, was history is Filipino?
Was his mom Masumo? Or?
Wow, unbelievable.
Green Bay coach Vince Lombardi described him as a big telephone pole. I played 11 years for the Rams, 5 with the Eagles. Dabbled in acting, was in the movie Skidoo with Jackie Gleason, and also The Undefeated, starring John Wayne and Rock Hudson. It was a Civil War type thing. Yeah. Also was on Gilligan's Island, Perry Mason, Ironside, and Wonder Woman, and joined I'd like to be on Wonder Woman. And also joined Bob Hope on the USO tour in Vietnam.
Roman Gabriel had the big head of black curly hair, a big good-looking guy.
Big.
Yeah.
Big. NBA playoffs are underway. No Atlanta Hawks were injured in the making of the NBA playoffs. The Thunder won Game 1 of their series with the Pelicans, but New Orleans player Larry Nance Jr. says his money is still on the Pelicans.
I'm betting on the Pels. I'm not betting. No Johnson. I'm not betting.
Sir.
I'm not betting on anything. I don't own a betting app. None of
that. The Paris Summer Games are getting closer, and NBC wants to spice the games up by hooking heart monitors onto the parents of the athletes as they compete.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Well, I'd watch it. If they're going to show it on the screen, if it doesn't, that'd be funny.
We have a sneak preview of what it will sound like when the parents of gymnast Simone Biles quits on her team and country again, like she did 4 years ago.
Man, you got it in for Simone Biles.
She's a quitter.
She's not a
She's
quitter.
Great at what she is. She's a quitter.
My God.
That's just my opinion. Okay, it's time for Nate's joke. You ready?
I'm ready for Nate's joke.
Okay. John says, I always wear 2 pairs of pants when I go golfing.
Why is that? In case I get
a hole in one.
A hole in one, yes. Even I was going to probably. 5:30, by the way, the 5 o'clock hour, brought to you by Lee Brandt Jewelers, where luxury jewelry and watches are affordable. Drop by their store in Sandy Springs or go to LeeBrandt.com. Holy crap of sports, Pete Davis, 5:30. Kimmer Pete, and for Flounder Morning Show Joe, and we got Pete's tweets and AI, and we got Flounder's funnies or Joe's jokes and stuff and everything coming up here with it. Here we go. Stand by.
Stream Clay Travis and Buck Sexton, Glenn Beck, Fox News, and even NASCAR on Sundays, anywhere on the Extra 106.3 app. Download the app now and get 24/7 access to the live stream, the latest news, and everything you need to know about Atlanta's only conservative talk station. Download the Extra 106.3 app for Apple or Android and check out even more great original content at thepodcastpark.com.
All right, I got 5:31. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer with Pete Davis and Morning Show Joe for Flounder today. And Atlanta Safe House, our buddies Jeff and Mark, man, if you don't know these guys, you will love doing business with them. And if you don't think you need a safe, you can take it from me. I'm a good example of a bad example. Yes, it's true, the Kimmer. I once lost my Social Security card because I kept it in my wallet. No. Put it in your safe. And I also lost my medical records from Vietnam and stuff and covered. So the VA says, leave us alone and go away forever, and we'll stop tormenting you. And if I had them, I'd be fine. But anyway, again, it's my fault. You're safe. Stuff you want to keep track of, maybe your first corsage, or your kids going back to school stuff, or your divorce and marriage papers, your living will, a picture of the things in your credit card and your wallet and your ID numbers and all that kind of stuff to keep for your family and stuff. Put it in your safe. And a safe is not one of those little plastic boxes with a little teeny key you get at the pharmacy. Protecting your assets with the big brand names like Browning and Fort Knox and American Security. And when Jeff and Mark deliver your safe to you at your business office, anywhere you want it, they use off-duty police and firefighters and military to say thanks for what you guys do too. Business safes, jewelry safes, high security safes, they can build you a vault door. They can build you a family storm shelter. I'm not making that up. They have a showroom in Ackworth, and check out their pistol safes. Really a great idea. Make your family feel a little more comfortable. People riding in the car, you know the whole deal. Please tell them the Kimber sent you. Check them out, atlantasafehouse.com.
Sequoia National Golf Club is located 45 minutes west of Asheville, North Carolina, and nestled among the Oak, Fir, and Flowered Valleys in the heart of the Great Smoky Mountains. Owned by the Eastern Band of the Cherokee, this Robert Trent Jones II design offers an idyllic 18-hole journey filled with panoramic vistas on every hole, beautiful landscapes, and a fun mountain golf experience. Enjoy a relaxed lunch or afternoon beverage on the outdoor deck with 180-degree views of the Great Smoky Mountains. The surrounding community also provides golfers a welcoming environment that is rich with Native American culture and exciting year-round attractions. Sequoia National Golf Club is just 4 miles from Harrah's Cherokee Casino Resort and just a short drive from Atlanta. Experience a fun afternoon of golf with your friends or stick around for an epic stay-and-play weekend. Experience mountain golf at its finest and then go hit the casino floor. Book your tee time at sequoianational.com. That's sequoianational.com. Experience the majesty and beauty of Sequoia National, mountain golf at its finest.
Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watch Company, where quality and value make the difference. Locally owned and located in Sandy Springs, offering you the finest selection of unique diamonds, sapphires, rubies, and emerald jewelry, as well as other fine gemstones. Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watches has been servicing Rolex watches for over 30 years, and their Rolex-trained watchmaker will service your watch in their state-of-the-art Rolex service center in their store. Lee Brandt uses only genuine Rolex parts, and their estimates are free. Drop by Lee Brandt in the Trader Joe's Shopping Center in Sandy Springs or visit LeeBrandt.com.
Tax season can be stressful, but it's also a wake-up call. It's time to think beyond April and plan for your future. At Master Plan Retirement Consultants, we're not just advisors, we're your partners in building a secure retirement. At Master Plan Retirement Consultants, we understand the challenges Georgians face. That's why we offer personalized strategies to maximize your retirement income, minimize taxes, and ensure you never outlive your assets. Join the Master Plan family and let us guide you through every financial milestone. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your appointment today. Master Plan Retirement Consultants, where your journey and destination are both important. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
Get ready for Real Talk on the Janelle King Show, where we tackle kitchen table topics that are banned from family gatherings, but crucial for a strong republic. Tune in every Saturday at 3 p.m. and every Sunday for an encore episode at 9 a.m. And if you can catch us live, great. But if not, no worries. New podcasts drop every Tuesday on the Podcast Park right here on Extra 106.3 or wherever you get your podcasts. Join us for insightful conversations that matter.
Well, Michael, I want to thank you for your time, but unfortunately, we can't offer you the position.
Why?
Well, we got the results of your background check, and quite frankly, we were concerned.
About what?
Apparently, you were arrested for throwing a shopping cart at a customer?
In my defense, he had it coming.
At Horizon Background Screening, we find things that other companies don't. That's why companies that use us make smarter hiring decisions. Don't let the wrong hire put your company at risk. Get the real story on your candidates at horizonscreening.com.
This is Dan Watkins with All Four Seasons. We've always been Atlanta's best at installing and servicing garage and entry doors, but you would be surprised at how many windows we've installed as well. So we're proud to announce a new division, All Four Seasons Windows. We now have the ability to make sure every opening in your house is safe, energy efficient, and looks darn good. So give us a call today to schedule your free sales consultation. Find out how you can decrease your energy bills and increase the beauty and value of your home with All Four Seasons garage, entry doors, and windows.
The Kimmer Beatles, the old actual Beatles. Driving me mad, all right. Yeah, Ticket to Ride, baby. Beatles #1 in British singles, taken from the film Help. Their 7th British #1. And we're going to talk Beatles here in a second, and then Pete's tweets. We got Flounders and Joe's jokes, stuff like that. First of all, Pete Davis, a couple of sports things. Our birthday of sports list, Terry Francona, 65. He just retired, right? From medical problems.
Yes.
Health issues. 1988, 2 NBA teams are awarded to Florida. 1988, the Orlando Magic Kingdom Woke Commies and the Miami Heat. I might have added a word there. 1876, the first official National League baseball game. Boston beat Philadelphia 6-5.
The Red Caps.
Yeah. 1914. That was 1876, the first National League baseball game. Wow. 1914. Babe Ruth made his pitching debut with.
Who now? What was the question?
Babe Ruth made his pitching debut.
The Red Sox.
1914.
No, this was a minor league. Yeah, minor league.
Babe Ruth made his pitching debut in 1914 with the Baltimore Orioles.
That was a minor league team.
It doesn't say that here, but I'll take your word for it. 1915, the Yankees wore pinstripes with the hat and the ring logo for the first time in 1915. There you go. Now, just a quick thing on the Beatles. You want to play some music in the back if you want to. There's a new book out called All You Need Is Love, and it's got some more of the juicier stuff of the Beatles breaking up. George Harrison, known as the Quiet One, used to say of John Lennon, he's become so nasty. They were engaged in a Cold War with John Lennon. George Harrison called him a piece of blank. In 1967, everybody was happy, and 3 years later it was over. They went to, this book describes how they went to tour in Manila in 1966. The band was spat on and nearly held hostage after they refused to see Philippines President Ferdinand Marcos and the First Lady. So Ringo says, we get on the plane. There's an announcement that our press man, Tony Barrow, and our road manager had to get off the plane. He said, we thought now they're going to take us off 2 by 2 and shoot us. He said, we kept realizing we're getting bigger and bigger. We couldn't go anywhere. You couldn't pick up a paper without us being there. It was outrageous. I suddenly had more... then they had a problem with chronicling their... writing their classics. And suddenly, Paul McCartney said, I had more Northern Song shares in their partnership than anybody else. It was, oops, sorry, John, you bastard. You've been buying behind my back. They had a fight over Apple Records. Came to a head when Alan Klein was the Beatles' new manager. Nobody wanted anything to do with him. He was called the devil. McCartney was incensed when Ringo voted to hire him. He said, well, this is like bloody Julius Caesar. I'm being stabbed in the back. He accused Klein of sucking up to Lennon by sucking up to Yoko. Anyway, it's on and on and on. It's a new book, and it's called All You Need Is Love. And I don't know. I mean,
Klein was a crook. He screwed the Beatles and the Stones.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, that's the book if you're interested, and I assume probably people are. 5:40, already with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. And let's see, just quickly, in case you missed it, the Supreme Court is probably unlikely to handle this business of public camping to the satisfaction of the liberals in Oregon. This is an incredible story. In Oregon, a community passed a municipal ordinance that said you would be getting a ticket, you're breaking the law, if you are homeless people sleeping on public property, like campgrounds and stuff like that. Well, the liberals are saying it's not fair. The Supreme Court justices today, conservative members, were expressing doubts about the issue, whether it's legal to kick somebody off a public park without giving them a ticket. The justice, he says, usually think about whether state law or local law achieves those purposes so federal courts don't get involved with homeless policy micromanaging. Neil Gorsuch said if courts find cities cannot... Oh, okay, this is really horrible. I'm going to say some bad words here, and I'm quoting a Supreme Court justice. Neil Gorsuch raised questions about what you can do to people in public places, noting if courts find that cities cannot publish homeless people for sleeping outside, then the same logic could apply to other ordinances, such as those prohibiting urinating or defecating in public. Justice, your language. But he's got a point.
Yep.
If you can't give him a ticket for sleeping, then you can't give him a ticket for doing anything else, apparently. I mean, there's public... what about no public bathroom facilities? The problem the liberals are saying, there's not enough homeless shelters, and therefore if somebody's homeless and they don't have a place to sleep, the county or the city or the state or somebody owes them a place to sleep.
Wait a minute, I thought the Bidenomics was getting everybody a place.
Well, we all got a new home now, a new car, new home, and again, where basically from the bottom line of this, what affects me, where do they get off? Where does anybody get off actually thinking that when you're born, you have a right to a house? You have a right to a bedroom. I mean, seriously.
Only kids think that way.
Who gets off that way?
Only children think that way.
Oh, and by the way, one more. This is typical. The liberals are Sona Sotomayor. She the stupid one? Yeah. Sorry, she's the dumb one. The prospect of other cities enacting similar policies discouraging homeless people. Where do we put them in every city if they lack compassion? Where are they supposed to sleep? And then Justice Katanji Bippity Boppity Boo said, wonder if a homeless person could ever bring a claim against the 8th Amendment if the court overturns the appeals ruling. What would happen if the city decided it was going to execute homeless people?
What?
Well, Yeah. I'm telling you, the Eighth Amendment bars cruel and unusual punishment. So they're saying, what's the difference? If you're homeless, you're being punished because you're homeless, so why not just execute them? That's the same thing. If it's not cruel and unusual, then maybe executing him wouldn't be cruel and unusual either. I mean, there's a Katanji, Bibbidi Boppity Boo, who also said she didn't know what a woman is.
I know.
God.
And she's not the dumb one.
Yeah, she's not the dumb one. She's a coward. She was afraid to answer the question when they said, when was it Marjorie Taylor Greene or what? No, the Tennessee senator said, what is a woman? The Tennessee senator, what is a woman? And she says, well, I'm not a biologist. She was a coward. She was afraid to say a woman by definition of gender has 2 freaking X chromosomes. Yeah. Okay? That's a woman.
If you got a Y, you're a guy.
You're a guy.
Yeah.
Boys have a penis, girls have a vagina.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. Boom. Oh, anyway, how about a little something here? 5:43 minutes. Here we go. Now we're in the morning show. And they want me to change my gender. Yeah, sure. First, we got Peach Tweets.
Well, you wouldn't have to change your name.
I wouldn't have to do anything.
Okay, Flounder sent this earlier with the great economy got going. James Woods posted this. Dollar Tree is closing 1,000 stores. Dollar Tree. Dollar General's
cheapest
everywhere.
as the dollar $1. Yeah, they can't make it.
Walgreens is closing 900. Macy's 150, Foot Locker 400 stores, Gap 350, Burger King 400, Regal Cinemas 429, and Kroger is closing 413 of their stores. And
Holy smokes!
James Wood says, "Is this building back better?"
How many theaters?
429.
Holy mackerel!
And yeah. I agree. There are some districts in Tokyo where you have to have over a certain age to enter because of erotic posters everywhere. And there's other districts in Tokyo, if you're a woman, they will not let you enter.
And what's the thought behind that?
Well, you're just not supposed to be there. You're a woman.
What kind of areas are these?
I don't know. I wish I'd known that when I was over there.
Wow.
Well, actually, I don't think I want to know that if there's no women there. Quite opposite.
If they don't allow girls, I don't think I want to be there.
Imagine that in America. If there's a part of Atlanta women can't go to.
Remember when they got in a big Supreme Court fight over whether women should get into bars free because it's ladies' night and they don't have to pay for their $5 admission. Remember the lawsuits over that? Well, then why can't men? I mean, remember? Oh my God, here we go.
MTV's debut date is closer in time to Pearl Harbor than today.
That's how old it is? Holy
That's
cow.
Old MTV, yeah.
Well, what's the date?
1980, I think. 80, 81, somewhere around there.
And Martha Quinn was one of the little hotties there.
Yeah,
and her first song was Radio Killed a Music Star or whatever.
From the Buggles.
Yeah.
Do you like Dr. Pepper?
Not. I have. I don't. It's a little too medicine-y for me.
Do you like Oreos?
I do like Oreo. I like the vanilla Oreos double stuff.
How about Dr. Pepper flavored Oreos?
Possible.
You get that by dipping the Oreo into the Dr. Pepper.
Actually, that's
you know what's great? What? Dipping an Oreo into to cherry Kool-Aid or something like. It
cherry
comes out as
Oreo.
A cherry
Why don't they
flavor.
make cherry flavored things anymore? You used to be able to get cherry popsicles and cherry ice. You can get cherry vanilla, but you can't get cherry flavored stuff.
Got to know the right guy. I got a guy.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah, I'll hook you up.
Try finding cherry soda or cherry soft cherry
cheer wine.
Juice.
Get your cheer wine.
We'll try.
All right. Pluto hasn't made a full orbit around the sun since it was discovered back in 1930. To which some smartass wrote, "Well, I wouldn't finish my job if I got fired either." There's Pete's tweets.
Oh, my goodness. All right, 5:46 for the Kimmer, Pete, and Joe for Flounder. And we got so much more, including Flounder's Funny and Joe's Jokes. Right here on 106.3. Look out.
Atlanta radio legends collide on Extra 106.3. The legend Neil Bortz is live every week with Atlanta legend The Kimmer. Because when you get these two guys together, who knows where we'll end up?
I am shocked. Shocked. Well, not that shocked.
The Kimmer is live on your drive home every weekday afternoon from 3 to 6. And now Neil Bortz joins the show every week. And if you miss it, catch up anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
Hey, Dad, can I ask you something?
Sure.
How do you know when you're in love?
Well, can't stop thinking about him. Your heart races sometimes, and you just want to be with him every moment of the day.
Dad, I think I'm in love then.
Got a picture?
Yeah.
Oh, yep. I remember my first Subaru, too.
There are so many reasons to love a new Subaru from Subaru of Gwinnett, like standard symmetrical all-wheel drive on most models, top-rated gas mileage, and technology and safety that will give you the warm and fuzzies. Like the 2024 Subaru Crosstrek, with 182 horsepower and up to 120 cubic feet of interior space. Or the 2024 Subaru Outback, built to take you off the beaten path with up to 9.5 inches of ground clearance. Add in their amazing staff and incredible service department, and you'll understand why love is what makes a Subaru a Subaru. But the only way to know it's the one is to come in for a test drive. Subaru of Gwinnett, Satellite Boulevard in Duluth, or start shopping online at SubaruofGwinnett.com.
Do you know that most people describe remodeling as stressful? Does that sound like your experience? Hi, this is Candace from Excavations, and have I got a tip for you. With Excavations as your partner, you'll get a completely different remodeling experience. How? Well, besides covering the very basics like showing up on time, cleaning up your property each day, not smashing your flowers or bushes, and not pressuring you to buy today because this huge deal expires tonight. We also cover the big things like a written project schedule so you know when workers are coming and when they're not. A fixed price quote so you're guaranteed that what you pay is exactly what you committed to up front. And a design of what your home will look like so you're not left guessing if you're even going to like the finished product. Discover what stress-free remodeling looks like and schedule your free quote today at exovations.com. That's EXOVATIONS.com.
Returning to Metro Atlanta, April 26th to the 28th, the Mitsubishi Electric Classic, presented by Venture, is Georgia's only PGA Tour Champions event. Enjoy local craft brews and scenic views of the par 3 11th hole and an exciting atmosphere at the Perch. Pick your favorite hole to watch along the ropes or find public seating throughout the course. Children 15 and under receive complimentary tickets with purchase by an adult. Join the party at TPC Sugarloaf in Duluth, Georgia. Tickets available at MitsubishiElectricClassic.com/tickets.
Hey sandwich lovers, today's your lucky day. There's a whole new way to roll for lunch or dinner delight with Nucky's Hoagies in the Roswell Corners Shopping Center. Now open. Nucky's Hoagies in Roswell is family owned and operated by the Sub Sisters, Stacy and Shannon, whose love language is food and Nucky's Hoagies, their passion. When you bite into a Nucky's Hoagie, you'll taste the difference. The softest hoagie rolls ever, along with hunger-quenching sandwich combinations. Make Nucky's Hoagies in Roswell on Woodstock Road your new favorite spot for lunch or dinner.
Hey, it's Front Office Los. Let's talk about Howard Brothers and Toro mowers. With roots dating back to 1914, Toro was built on a tradition of quality, long-lasting products. Toro takes the same technology that pro contractors rely on and design them into every product they build. They're not just reliable, they're comfortable and give you the beautiful lawn that you want in less time. Visit Howard Brothers Power Equipment today to find your next zero-turn mower from Toro. The grass is always greener when you take care of it with Toro and Howard Brothers.
Get ready for unfiltered conversations on The Janelle King Show, where we tackle the topics that you won't hear at your family gatherings, but they're absolutely crucial for a strong republic. Don't miss us live every Saturday at 3 p.m. and every Sunday at 9 a.m. right here on Extra 106.3. But if you can't tune in, that's okay. You can catch new episodes every Tuesday on the Podcast Park or wherever you prefer to get your podcast. Join us for these discussions, and I can't wait to meet you there.
I enjoy a good night's sleep, and I like to breathe while I'm sleeping. My wife appreciates that, too. That's why I wear a CPAP. You want the right machine. You want expert advice. You want all the supplies that go with it. You get it all at CPAPs, etc. in Alpharetta. Machines, masks, tubing, filters, cleaning supplies, all of it, and they ship nationwide. Walk-ins, by the way, are welcome. CPAPs, etc. Alpharetta, CPAPSETC.com.
There we go. The Stones. I see a red door and I want it into black. That was 1964. The president of the National Federation of Hairdressers offered a free haircut to the next #1 group in the British pop charts. He said the Rolling Stones are the worst. One of them looks as if he's got a feather duster on his head. Excuse me. Again, 1964. I'm telling you, that's what parents were thinking about the Stones, particularly the Stones. And even the Beatles just heard their collars was too shaggy. I mean, there's a whole. I mean, think of the changes in our culture between that whole basic middle of the road, basic modern American family of the early '60s and any time after. I mean, it's just.
I blame the war. It changed everything.
Vietnam. Well, that's the first time that sons and daughters, particularly sons, even would turn on their parents, where they got whatever made them powerful enough to say no. I'm going to fight you. And boy, the families were split. I mean, it was brutal. I mean, I lived through. I mean, oh man, that was a tough time. A couple of birthdays. Jeffrey Dean Morgan, the actor, 58, Walking Dead and the Dead City spinoff. Byron Allen's a comic. He's 63. And let's see. Sad news this day, 2004. Pat Tillman was killed by friendly fire in Afghanistan. He's the NFL player who enlisted right after September 11th because it was the right thing to do. Also on this day, 1976, Barbara Walters became the first female news anchor on network television. Harry Reasoner hated her. They came to him and said, "You're getting a girl coach." He said, "I hate it. I don't like her. She's bad. It's going to be horrible for the media." He tried to ruin her career. He was posting public comments about it. It was brutal. Years later, Barbara Walters said she really held no hard feelings because Harry was going through hell at the time, a lot of home family stuff, and she didn't really hold it against him, to her credit. However, two of my greatest memories, we played earlier today, Sherry O'Terry from Saturday Night Live, just one of the funniest bits ever doing Barbara Walters stuff. And the other one that I remember, and the girl I interviewed and my wife made a cake for, Gilda Radner, when she came into my studio in the mid-'70s, and Gilda Radner used to do a little Barbara Walters herself.
Hello, I'm Barbara Wawa, and welcome to Barbara Wawa at Watch. We are indeed lucky to have as our guest tonight the greatly respected and world-renowned creator of shuttle diplomacy. Sometimes controversial, but to my mind, a really regular guy. Secretary of State, Dr. Henry Kissinger. You once said that power is the greatest aphrodisiac. What exactly do you mean by this?
Well, have you ever started a nuclear warhead?
Once. When I was working on a white paper report on nuclear proliferation. Dr. Kissinger, in a previous interview with the Italian Barbara Wawa, Oriana Falaci, or whatever her name is, you referred to yourself as a gunswinger, sort of a Lone Ranger of foreign policy.
A Lone Ranger.
No.
Yeah, that's right. That's enough. That's enough. Anyway, Saturday Night Live. And she was so sweet. She came into the studio, and of all the whole crew did, Saturday Night Live crew in 74 or 5 or whatever it was. And my wife had made her a cake because it was her birthday. We knew it was when she came in. And my wife, my starter wife who did love me, actually made her a cake, and it was really a sweet time. 5:55. God, I can't believe it. How about this? Tybee Island. Holy smokes. It's not Blacknick or Freaknik. It's called the Orange Crush. I'm not sure why. But Tybee Island's got these party seekers, Orange Crush Festival, videos of wild brawls, women throwing haymakers, ripping off hair extensions, taking their tops off on the pier, fighting and struggling. Let's see, people are screaming and yelling, having great times. The litter scattered along the beach, women twerking, and all the garbage is going into the ocean. Yeah. It's just a total mess. Tybee Island.
You could walk on the beach because all the trash.
Yeah. Thousands of students and alum, historically black colleges and universities overrun the Peach State, Tybee Island for spring break like jamboree. 58,000 co-revelers flocked to the 3 square mile island. They say they didn't cause much trouble, but that's not true. There were fights all over the place and garbage and everything. Anyway, it's, they're letting them do it.
You don't let any group go to a beach and do that and just trash it and leave all that trash there. They have sea turtles there and all that mess.
Yeah. Despite the brawl, the Orange Crush Beach Party is rooted in celebrating the student culture of Savannah State University and other historically so.
They've a long time ago said, we're not part of this.
Well, again, Florida, Fort Lauderdale and all these places, hold on a minute.
Jacksonville.
Yeah, fine, you can come here and have fun and everything, but I mean, come on.
Tybee used to close their businesses and say, screw it, we're not going to put up with this.
Yeah. It's a 5:57. Holy criminy. A horrible story here, by the way. Horrible story. A woman from China named Huang Lihong was with her family at the Lian Crater in Bangalagawangagangi, Indonesia. A family outing. These Indonesian volcanoes are famous because they're blue. They have a blue effect from fire igniting the gas emanating from the sulfur and so forth. Well, so this lady was taking a picture. She had her skirt got caught, apparently, on part of the rocks on the slope of the volcano, and she fell into the volcano 250 feet into the volcano while her husband's sitting there filming her.
Was she a virgin?
I hope she got pumped out of it, because if she wasn't...
Because maybe they sacrificed her.
Well, it took her 2 hours to find her body.
Oh, they didn't sacrifice
she fell into the 250 feet into the volcano.
What's the one in Hawaii? Paleo or something?
Paleo, yeah.
That they sacrifice a virgin every now and then? That could be you, Joe.
Yeah, one of my guys in prep school used to have a nickname put on his mug for graduation. Come on, I want to lay you. It's a famous special... Oh, God. All right, I wouldn't forget to slay. Joking, Joe.
Now, listen. Look, guys, I am aware that I must seem like a tough, cold son of a bitch up here. In fact, the only time I've ever cried in public in my entire life was at my mom's funeral. I might be a tough, cold son of a bitch, but that doesn't mean I'm not also one hell of an actor. My mom was a depressed woman. My mom was a very depressed woman. My mom was so depressed, she had the words, "In case of an accident, please do not resuscitate," tattooed across all of her children. I'd say my mom's funeral was like 10, 11 years ago now. Last year, I had her body dug up. Settle a legal dispute with my siblings. Turns out I was wrong. That is illegal.
That's Jason Jesselnick. Anthony Jessel. Yeah, every one of his bits is all just creepy. Oh, mercy. Almost 6 o'clock. Kevin, Pete, and Flounder. By the way, at the Roxy next door, there's a show tonight, and as things are up, My Gender is Not My Genre. I swear to God. I can't wait to see the crowd when we leave here tonight, coming in a few minutes. Anyway, it's all coming up tomorrow. By the way, I have my brand new... This is a Marine Corps band harmonica. I'm switching to my big-time Charlie one. Kevin, Pete, and Flounder, I got to go. You're killing me. Hoorah, Semper Fi. Thank you, Joe. Herp and Herp, look out.
Start your day the right way with Tug, Rhino, and Los on the Morning Extra. Every morning from 6 to 10 a.m. on WFOM Marietta Extra 106.3.
Day one in the books. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. A shortened day.